Alrighty, welcome back everybody. It is September 20th here in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Patrick Morrison here in the booth. Alongside me will be John Hine, but of course, if you guys have tuned into me before, he of course has got to go ahead and get himself out there on the track. Starting out tonight, we are going to be in the wingless division, the wingless 360s. That's a lot of power with not enough downforce, missing that wing on top, as you can see there on your screen. And so this pre-race show provided to you by Tim Chapman Racing. This is going to be a fantastic night tonight. We got a lot of guys and 3 different locations we are going to be at. It's going to be super, to me it's going to be a fantastic race, but let's go ahead and get to that race prep screen, and as we always do, and see how we get going as they get through qualifying here, brought to you by ABR Setup Shop. With more than 7 years of iRacing experience and 3-time iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series World Champion, Alex Bergeron is your coach and the setup builder for iRacing. The goal is to make you fastest on the track without any exceptions. Don't look any further than ABR Setup Shops offers weekly official race setups, custom setup requests for your specific races, and most importantly, one-on-one coaching sessions. Alright, so let's go ahead as these guys are qualifying kind of here in the background. We are taking a peek at John Hine there, trying to see how he gets around the track. Races for tonight, we are going to be looking at the wingless 360s here at Kokomo. So we're starting here in Indiana. So fast one here. It'll end with a 30-lap feature. Then we're going to be at the 21 Designs 410 class. We'll be at Charlotte for that one. And then we're going to be running the Tim Chapman Racing with the NASCAR trucks at Talladega. So any of you guys out there who normally tune into me or are super excited about that asphalt racing, Talladega is where it's going to be. Very fast there, but you know, that's nothing to hang your head about. As we got, as we get these guys already qualifying, they're pretty fast. John Hines smashing that top shot there, really fastest so far. So a lot of guys are going to have to kind of speed it up here to keep up with John here in the race. Let's go ahead and get to our live shot here of what's going on. Super excited to have you guys here with us tonight. This is going to be a blast, man. I am excited to see what ends up happening. If you guys are interested in sponsoring this league or one of these leagues that you see here on Simtrax Broadcasting or any of the other broadcasting companies that are here, they have a few that are open. So if you're looking and interested in sponsoring, getting your name up here, especially here on Topside Tuesdays with Gambler Motorsports, they would be really interested to have a chat with you. Go see c2crl.com and have a little chat with the guys, admins there. All right, so last week we did see Steven Spies win the Midget race, and he is going to be one, the guy to beat here, as he's going to go ahead and start out front in the points lead for him. Jack Hitt came in second, and Brennan Lacey in third place. But right now, John Hine, Jack Hitt, and Jeff Flaro there in the number 200 car, going ahead and placing third. Right now, we got 15 cars here lined up, ready to go, but a few of these guys may go ahead and decide not to qualify. They do have a few more minutes to try to see if they can figure this out here and see if that's what they're going to do. But, man, you'll notice from what I've been seeing here out on the track, John, is a lot of these guys are going pretty fast into these turns, and the car's not carrying as hard, or as well as you would think, well, missing that wing on top.
No, it doesn't. You really got to pitch these cars in to get them to turn. But the thing is, the secret is, yeah, you pitch them in, but you don't want to over-rotate them, and that can become very, very difficult to manage here. But hey, we're gonna line up here for Heat 1 here, and I'll start P4. So I guess I get to put that rotation theory to test here early.
All right, as we get ready for that, let's go ahead and get our rundown here for the Heat 1 race. Patrick Spangler taking out 39 car into the first place. Next to him will be Steven Spies, our winner last week in this session, in the first round. Jeff Flaro there in the third position. John Hine going ahead and starting there in the fourth, so not too bad. Cutoff is fourth. Bob DeGood in the 7 machine, fifth. Jeffrey Kemper, sixth. Bruce Hilton in the 7th, and Doyle Lawrence there in the 8th position. A lot of guys out here excited, ready to push their car to the limit, and we'll have to see how this gets going. Man, I can't wait. It's interesting to see these cars get lined up here for this shot as the go-round, but this being brought to you by Langton Mechanical here as we get going here. Got a little bit of a fumble up here. Let me see if I can go ahead and get this squared away while you guys
Yeah,
are.
and what makes it even a little more interesting for everybody watching, they invert the top four. So the quick qualifier here, well, is going to be me, but they put me back here in fourth. So, if I want to get there up front and use that speed, I'm going to have to pass a couple of guys to do so. So we try to add a little excitement for everybody out there. Hopefully, it'll work out here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Having to see how how these cars get wrapped up. It's interesting seeing so much power with so little downforce. But we'll have to see as looks like Barney up in the booth getting ready to go ahead and swing that green flag here. And there he goes. So Steven Spees out front as man, look how they slide around here. Looks like that low line may or may not come into play here. We'll get a little closer shot there for you guys. As it looks like John Hine there working that outside line pretty well, but Jeff Flaro there realized that inside line just didn't work for him. And you kind of see what I was talking about earlier, is those cars kind of dig in and get jammed down there at the bottom, and really right front tire almost just digs into the dirt and won't let it rotate. So Steven Spees doing the same thing he did last week and just absolutely taking off, and really with a commanding lead there. But we know John Hine in that 71 car won't let up, but it looks like he's got a little bit of work to do to get that one underway. Jeffrey Kemper back here. Oh, boy, is Jeff Flaro there. Clips the wall, and around he goes. No caution out yet, so it is going to cost him this heat here. Hopefully it does not cut him out of the race as we take a look here. Bob DeGood, 5th place. So Jeffrey Kemper up 2 places so far in the 181 machine. Seems to be holding his own. Doing pretty well around there. See, yep, everybody else enjoying that high line as we bring out the white flag. Steven Spees, man, he is super fast right now. Holding the top speed here tonight, 12.15 so far, as he's going to bring that to the checkered flag. As it looks like we have Spees, Hines, Spangler, Kemper, DeGood, Lowrance, Hilton, and Jeff Flaro there. Kind of got smoked out there on that last turn. Bummer for him, but we'll have to see how if he can put that thing back together for the for the feature. I mean, these guys still have another chance. So let's go ahead and get to our guys for our second heat. Our second heat brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. These guys offer iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design with the attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times, check out Magnum Race Designs. These guys are a proud sponsor of the 358 Modified Division. Jeff Barker, Randy Shreves, Terry Landis for our top 3. Jack Hitt 4th. McLaren will be starting 5th in his 88 little car right there. All right, Joseph Grandy in the 518, and following that up with Brandon Dittmer. All right, so that'll at least get a bunch of our guys out here for the second heat. Should be pretty exciting. I appreciate you guys coming and seeing us here. I'd like to go ahead and mention while we got a little bit of time for the Steve King Foundation. They were formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. This is going to be a blast of a race here. I really appreciate the Steve King Foundation going ahead and looking out here for the C2C as well. Magnum Race Designs here as our Heat 2. Pace truck goes ahead and ducks on off. So Jeff Barker and Randy Shreves up here in the front line here. These guys are going to be the ones to take us away for that green flag. Do like that paint job right there. That little red, white, and blue. I'm liking it. As we are under green. So Barney's flying that green flag for Heat 2 of the Wingless 360 division. Boy, look at that mix-up right there. As it looks like Terry Landis dives down. We've seen him before try to go ahead and use that bottom line, and he doesn't give up on it. That's one thing I like about Terry Landis. He kind of finds the line and doesn't give up on it. But right now, Randy Shreves going ahead and leading the race here. Jack Hitt there on the outside along with him, but Jeff Barker there in the 3rd position. So we'll see if Landis can go ahead and pull out of the rut here he's dug himself into. He is back there in the 5th position. Got a lot of work to do as they're going. There it is. There's your 4-wide situation as Terry Landis up into the 4th. So, man, a lot more speed he's carrying through those turns and dug into that turn. So Landis goes all the way from 5th or 6th place up to 3rd. And he has cleared. So can he go ahead and keep pushing along here as we see Jeff Barker, who was in the 513, back to the 6th position. 2 to go left on this heat. As you guys, ladies and gentlemen, can see out here watching the broadcast, this is it's so fast. As we have white flag is out. No time for you to talk here, John. Randy Shreves out here in the front. Jack Hitt following up 2nd. So it looks like Randy Shreves is going to take this one. But as I say that, Terry Landis goes ahead and slides up into the 2nd position. Now's the time to make it happen, and he does. Gets that good, perfect slide right there and slides it on through. Wow.
Yeah, the Terry's a master at the bottom. Jeff Barker's pretty good too. And the thing about tonight is, this track slicks up pretty good. So when we get later in the race and then we're having to pedal for the guys that are up top, Terry will get that bottom rolling and make it a two-lane race, which will make it a lot of fun.
Yeah. And that's going to be awesome. I really appreciate how many cars decide to show up to here tonight. I believe I have over 15 drivers right now showing to be locked and loaded. They'll have about 2.5 minutes here left in the warm-up, which is good time to go ahead and mention Flatline Racing Bodies. Quality racing bodies produced by former NASCAR Regional Short Track Champion Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. They go ahead and, they make some awesome stuff. But, yeah, check them out as these guys are going ahead and flattening the track a little bit. Go ahead, see if you can get those Heat 1 and Heat 2 jitters out of the way and see if you can, plant this thing down. I'd like to see, I don't know about you, John, but I'd like to see somebody sponsor, these midgets and the wingless 360s here in the C2C League.
Oh, they're exciting, that's for sure. They'll get some pretty good airtime.
Yeah, definitely. Points-wise, they are going to stay the same, but it's kind of 6 ons and 6 on for each class there. The 360s and the midgets. I can't. It's one thing. I love seeing the 410s with the big power and things like that. From what I broadcast here, but those little midgets, man, those things are crazy. Just so fast they get going. I'll laugh every time, man. I know it's serious racing, but I've never seen a car that hits a slight dirt mound and you're wheeling half the back of the backstretch there. That is really something to see. So, all right, we are coming about with just about a minute left here in the warm-up. So this is going to be a good mix-up for some of these drivers. Let's go ahead and see if we can find for the driver of the week. I believe driver of the week fall season looks like Riley Burr for week 1. He started P22 at last week's Hometown Heroes 360 race, drove all the way to P4, passing 18 cars. Wow. Yeah, I guess Ross Coritana there. Yeah, man, I messed that one up. Who started 24th in the Renegades race and finished 7th. So I know the Renegades race, they were a pretty stacked season there, and the driver of the week.
Kind of run. That's the same kind of run I had last night. Started 23rd in the Renegades, worked my way up to 8th.
Yeah, you guys do move a lot back there, and interesting to see how you guys start in the back. But driver of the week brought to you by C2C Speed Shop, where iRacing meets the real racing. There's much to see. So check out all the neat apparel and gifts that's Coast2Coast Racing League and our partners. Go to c2crl.com for more information. All right, and we are wrapping it up, and here we go. This should be exciting as we get these guys all on the track. And these guys get ready, as here we are. And let's give these guys all a beautiful, nice little shot as we get the grid here for our last race. All right, Steven Spees, Randy Shreves taking up lane Tom 1 here. John Hine and Terry Landis in 3 and 4. Spangler, Jack Hitt 5-6. Jeffrey Kemper in 7th. Joseph Grandy in 8th. Bob DeGood 9th. All right, good shot for him, so he should have a good turnout for Bob DeGood there in 9th, with Brandon Dittmer next to him in 10th. Doyle Lawrence there in the 11th. Jeff Barker in 12th. And that should round out the last of our guys, with Bruce Hilton being in 13th, Dan McLaren 14th, and Jeff Floro. We saw him kind of flip out there in that one heat, so he's got to kind of start behind the 8 ball here a little bit, so he's got a lot of work to do there from the back. Steven Spees, up front where we normally see him, so this is kind of his time to charge up front. Pace car lights are out, so these guys are going to have a good shot here at Kokomo. I know I talked to you a little bit there, John, and you were pretty excited about this track with this little quarter-mile track of dirt. You guys can really lay it down and throw them into the corners, but it's tended to be a little bit of a problem for you guys.
Yeah, this is going to get pretty sketchy down here in 1.
All right, 55 and the 56 car in the front row. Here we go. As Steven Spees goes ahead, takes that low line, tries the slide job, and whoa, Randy Shreves, kind of sniffs that one out and tries to undercut him there, but here we go. So watch out for Terry Landis here, as I believe he was the champion of, I believe, spring season, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But boy, he knows definitely how to drive these cars around that track. Low line is his favorite as we get going around here. Let's see if we can swing out just a little bit and kind of give you a little peek of how these guys are starting to spread out here. Good moves by everybody there, but you kind of see Landis not shying away from that low line. As soon as he gets that guy from the outside of him, he's going to go ahead and swing a little higher and get closer there. So Landis doing a great job there. Steven Spies is definitely trying to hold him off. So these guys are switching back and forth, as they try to figure out how they can go ahead and who's going to get the lead. John Hine there in the 5th position. He's falling back there a little bit, but that's okay. We still got a lot of laps to go, 25 of them to be exact, as we see definitely the top 5. These guys are mixing it up pretty good. Right now, Landis, Spies, Shreve, Spangler, and Hine up here in the top 5, as these guys are mixing it up and shuffling around here at Kokomo. This is a, whoa, man, as they almost connect. It looks like a little bit of Spangler there on the inside line, tried to ride it up just a little higher than Shreves wanted there. Had to make a good check up there, as Spies and Landis are still battling it out here, not giving up. Boy, and just the responsiveness of these cars. Spies showing the high line is working, but Landis not giving up on that low line as he cuts in and hits the grass there. Looks like we got somebody around. Got a few cars may have gotten mixed up there. Looks like Grandy and Grandy may have been mixed up. So let's go ahead and shuffle back here to Grandy and see what happened here. Let's see. See if he just gets turned around here. Oh, yep, clips the little tire there. All right, not too bad. So it looks like the one car mix up there and not too shabby. Sorry about that, guys, about that whoosh whoosh noise. I thought I had that thing fixed, but she is back. Man, I hate that. All right, so we're going to get back under green. Probably about 20 to go here. Spies will continue to be our leader. Looks like he went ahead and got Landis behind him. So he'll be able to go ahead and get another restart without him in front. As we get a couple of these guys here to kind of square each other away. I know Spangler's looking to make a good move. Try to see if he can shuffle his way up front. And away we go. Green flag back underway. Look how Spies throws into the turn there. Looked like Landis may have had something. That may have spun off that turn. Landis dropped back to 4th position. Holy cow. Whoa, 3 wide. As these guys are clipping each other. Look out. As I want to go to the Ace Designs drone view here. Let's go ahead and take a peek from this shot up top. Kind of see if Landis can go ahead and calm this one down a little bit. John Hine there on the outside line. Almost dropping it off the top shelf, but he goes ahead and holds it. Doesn't look like it's too bumpy up there yet. As we're getting going around here, looks like Jack hit on the inside of him as well, trying to see if he can push it around. But no can do, as these guys are still pushing their way around. Plenty of action out here on the track with these guys pushing their way around. I like how this looks. We kind of see how some of these drivers are out here. As Bob DeGood back here in the 8th position, he's trying to see if he can fight his way back up. He's only moved up 1 spot from where he's qualified so far. Right now, our fastest mover right now is Dan McLaren here in the 9th position in the 88 machine. Oop, as we kind of see him bump the wall there a little bit. No harm, no foul. Jeff Flaro there, we saw him start in last place. He's up to 10th, so a good 10th place finish will be good for him. But let's rotate back up here to the front as we see Spies and Spangler in the 55 and the 39 machine kind of duking it out here. Up toward the front for the lead, as you kind of see, switch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Right now, Spies has the speed coming out of the turns, but Spangler has him really kind of on the turn. So inside line is working so far. I'm interested to see if Landis can go ahead and catch him, working that inside line as well, as the track is starting to break down, get a little slick, and these guys are starting to kind of figure out how to collect each other. So Spies and Spangler still battling out up front here. Bob DeGood now up to the 6th position. Brandon Dittmer there in the 8th position. So I believe McLaren and Flaro are fighting out back there. Let's see if we can take a peek real quick. There we go. Looked like Jeff Florio trying to work that outside line just as well as some of these other guys. But, man, it just seems that inside line is kind of, there's not really a rhyme or a reason really which line is best and which line is, you know, is preferred at this point. You know, Brandon Dittmer there in the 83, Randy Shreves, he's still trying to make it work for him. But you definitely see he's trying to wheel that car. As I want to see if we can take a quick shot of the inside of his car here. As he's getting around, let's see if we can get going there. A little more engine noise there for us. Yeah, kind of getting battling around here. Boy, yeah, you definitely see how he's having to wheel it. I think he's having just a little trouble there. I mean, it's nothing he's doing, but you just kind of see it almost doesn't carry as much speed as he would like into that turn. Yeah, just like there's a lot more grip than he would expect as we slide back outside. All right, here we go. So as we were taking that ride along there with only 7 to go, Spees is taking the lead, but he is under fire by Spangler and Landis here. Landis here back in the 3rd position in the 161. Spangler there in 2nd position in this 39, and now they're hitting lap traffic. Kemper and Lawrence there, right, really kind of jamming everybody up. Holy cow, and Landis sends it. Landis sends it in there, and Spangler gets a huge shot right there, really sends somebody around. Holy cow. All right, let's see if we can file back and figure out what happened there. So we get to another caution replay. I knew we saw how Landis kind of connected with somebody there. Let's take another look at it. From the chopper angle, here we go. All right. Give this another shot and see what exactly happened here as he super sends it into the turn. Right there. Clink. Just kind of gets another car turned around, and then that was it for them. All right. Let's go ahead and get this one back live here. I do not believe, John, there are any EOLs or anything like that here in this league.
No, everything is after the fact.
All right, and we get back just in time, back under green. So Landis in 3rd, Spees 2nd, and Spangler up in the front. John Hine there in the 4th position. Jack Hitt, Jack Hitt dropping back just a little bit down in the 6th position. Kind of having a little bit of rendering issue there. There we go. Spees under fire again with 4 to go. Here we go. So Spees, Landis, Spangler, and John Hine and McLaren up in the top 5 right now. I'll have to see how this plays out, man. I keep saying that, but we are 3 to go as these guys are pushing their way around. We'll have to see how what happens. Spees under fire, man. He's got to figure out how to keep his way out front. He's definitely got about a half a second lead, but Landis absolutely saws that one to pieces. And trying to get back out front, but Landis showing that inside line is working for the angle. 39 of Patrick Spangler cuts on the inside. Look out! As he cuts on the inside of Terry Landis there, trying to slide job very deep into that turn. As they get going, white flag is out. As we're going around. All right, Spees, Landis, and Spangler. 1, 2, 3. All right. Man, that was wild. All right, let's get our race results up here. These guys kind of getting set up, squaring each other away for a good little photo op here. And we'll be able to get some of our guys in here in the waiting room. And that'll be our top 15 there up on the board. All right. We'll get a couple of our guys in here, as I believe Patrick Spangler will be our 3rd place finisher here for tonight. And we'll see if we can get him wrangled up and in the booth. You know, it's hard to check some of these guys down. All right. Spangler. All right, let's go ahead and have a little chat with Patrick Spangler. Patrick Spangler in the 39 machine. You got a copy on us here, bud?
Yep, got you like that.
All right, man. What a race that was. Really trying to send it in there on Terry Landis there, man. Heck of a last run. I mean, was the bottom line working better tonight than the high line?
I never really run these cars, so I didn't want to climb the fence, so I just kept her down low, and then it's kind of cool at the end. We're trading sliders on the low line there, and it's just who could get closer to the tire without hitting it.
All right. Well, is Kokomo one of your favorite tracks? I mean, are you used to this track, or is this kind of an oddball one for you?
I only race it whenever we have league races here. I'm more of a Lernerville, Dora, Knoxville type of guy, so it's always different and different car. I rarely ever race these cars.
Okay. Is there any way that you could have beat Terry Landis there? He was kind of holding that bottom line if that's where you were looking to go as well. Is there any way that you think you could have really worked around him there?
I would have had to slow up in turn 1 and 2 a little bit to keep that bottom coming out of 2, because that's when he got underneath me, and then in 3 and 4 he just stuck it and went real slow around the bottom, so I couldn't cut back underneath him and held it. It was a good run. I'm happy with third, so on to the 410 race.
All righty. Well, 410s is where we will see you next. But go ahead and give me your shout-outs here, bud, and we'll get you practicing there.
Yep, you for coming on board this year and doing the broadcast. Roch for running the league. Training Wheels Racing, the 3 guys we run with, and Dan Uncle back home watching.
All righty. Good job, bud, and we'll see you in the 410s. Patrick Spangler in the 39. All right, man. Awesome job there, but I want to talk to Terry Landis. Let's get Terry Landis up here. Terry Landis in the 161, man. How was that car handling out there for you?
Dude, that thing was handling excellent, brother.
Yeah, man, really, I've seen you race before, and I think really that low line seems to be your friend. You do not take it high.
I try sometimes, and sometimes it don't work. So I usually just stay on the bottom for sure.
All right, well, really, Steven Spees really put the moves on you there. He decided to stay high most of that run. It seems like when you cleared him there a little bit, you rode up the track, and then you were able to kind of dive down a little faster into those turns. Here at Kokomo, did the track come around the way you wanted it to?
Oh yeah, definitely. I knew just from warm-ups, I figured the bottom would come in, but it came in a little too tight in 3 and 4, and I gave Doyle a pretty good shot. I'm sorry about that. But racing with Patrick and Steven there, that was pretty much fun.
All right, well, you did place 4th in the midgets last week, and here you are with a 2nd place finish in the wingless. Man, 410s is up next. I'm sure you're pretty excited about that, but we are moving to Charlotte. How confident are you feeling there?
Well, they changed the track at Charlotte a little bit. It makes it a little better for us bottom feeder guys. So we'll see what happens.
All right, bud. Go ahead and give me a shout-out, and let's get you on your way.
Oh, yeah. Let me give a shout-out to Galen's Homegrown Popcorn, best popcorn on the internet. And if you enter cart into the code, you'll get 15% off. And my boys back there at KSR and Kreitz Track Racing.
All right, Terry Landis in the 161.
And the wife.
Great job, bud. Great job tonight. Hey, is it the 61 or the 161?
I gave up. I have a very friend of mine, CD Coville. He's a old modified driver from my past, and a really good fan of his. And my number is 61 from him, and he wanted to race in our league, so I said, yeah, I'll give up 61 for sure. So I just added the 1 to it. So you can call it whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got it at 2 different places, and I just want to make sure I'm calling what's on the side of the car, bud.
Yeah, that's all that matters. It's on the side of the car.
All right, Terry. Great job tonight, bud, and hopefully you'll be able to continue on your good luck here in the 410s.
All right, thank you.
All right, Terry Landis there. John, I know you were already practicing there at the 410s, which is going to bring me to Steven Spees. Once again, here in the smaller vehicles, he's able to go ahead and win this one here. Steven Spees, you got a copy on me here, bud?
Yep, I got you.
Dude, what a blast that race was. Did you have any concern that Terry Landis may go ahead and take it away from you here tonight?
Yeah, I did my best a couple of times to nerf it into the wall, and I knew Terry and then Patrick were both running that low line and doing it really well, so it was really on the edge being on that top. But I don't run the the bottom in these cars as well as those guys. So I was hoping it lasted and just kind of gritted my teeth. But that was really, really fun race. It's nice having two lines and racing with folks that give room and race clean, and that was really, really fun.
2 wins so far this season, especially midgets and now the wingless 360s. That should be pretty exciting for you there, bud. You know, I'm with 2 wins in the belt. I asked you if you felt any looser or better having that first win under your belt, but now you've got 2. So I mean, talk to me. Is this really the wind up we're going to see? Are you going to bring home a third?
I'm not sure if I'm racing next week. I think I've got another league that conflicts that has a season finale next week. So, not sure if I'll be able to fit this one in before that starts. But whenever I'm home and I get the chance, I'm going to come in here and try to keep getting those trophies.
All right, man. You are definitely a busy man. So hopefully we are able to see you there. But let's go ahead and get you wound up and ready for those 410s, man.
Yeah, we'll see. I may jump into those tonight, but we'll see.
Oh, man, dude. From what I've seen here in the booth, those things are super fast.
Absolutely. I'm partial to these non-wing cars and the midgets and late models. Those wing cars I'm not generally as good in, but we may give it a run. We'll see.
All right. Fantastic job there, Steven. And hopefully we'll see you in the next round.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Steven Spees there. Really blast from the past. We saw him there last week, but we're going to cut to commercial, and we'll have the 410s up for you right in just a little bit.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
leader in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I appreciate you hanging out there with us through the commercial as we get loaded up here for the 410s. A little bit of a travel distance for us, going to Kokomo all the way to now Charlotte. We have the wingless 360s there, and now we got the fixed 410s. This is going to be a crazy race. I'm excited to see how many guys show up for this one. Right now on the ticker, I've got 21 guys getting locked and loaded to go ahead and put this one down. Wild night, especially they call it Topside Tuesday. I'd like to call it, Topsy-Turvy Tuesday, because we went from the small 360 wingless, or the midgets, depending on which week. We go to the big 410s. These things are crazy fast on the, on these half-mile dirt tracks, and then we're going to throw it on asphalt there at Talladega. So this is going to be a blast here for this one. This race being brought to you by 21 Designs. Super excited to have them along board with us here at C2C Racing Network along here. Patrick Morrison here in the Simtrax broadcasting booth with John Hines still. He's out there trying to kind of wrangle in this 410, but he's got a lot of work to do as these things are just so fast here at Charlotte.
Yeah, we got in here. You look at the lap times on for the practice board, and I don't know how much stock I'd put into them. A lot of guys came in at different times here. If they come out when the track is fresh, they're going to bust off a pretty good lap. And I know I came in and the track was already, a lot of the good had been knocked off of it. But yeah, these things are crazy fast here. This should put on a good show for everybody.
All right, man. I'm excited to see how this gets going. As we're kind of looking at the 888. I'm going to let you go ahead and do this one here, John. Steve's last name, Maurer?
Maurer.
Man, I had it last time. I thought I had it. I was wrong. All right. Maurer. I'll get it, bud. I promise. All right. As we get going here, this is going to be kind of let these guys get a little more time in here practicing. And speaking of practice, I want to go ahead and shout out Coast2Coast Racing School, where the league's top drivers have volunteered to help league drivers improve their driving skills free of charge. They'll be offering help on various skill sets such as qualifying, driving lines, driver awareness, and the setup advice. So obviously when you guys go ahead and sign up to race with these guys, they'll go ahead and give you racing school for free. So don't forget, go to c2crl.com and schedule a session. And there's nothing better than, being able to go ahead and, join a league and then kind of figure out where a good place to, get a good feel for dirt racing. And then if you're still unsure, and man, if you're anything like me and just can't get dirt racing down, these guys will go ahead and help you out. And, that way you're not going around the track. You don't look crazy, and you'll be able to go ahead and get this one away. Fixed 410s on the book here so far, and this is going to be awesome. These guys are going to be going super fast here around the track. Well, I believe we were looking at just under 13 seconds in the quarter. I know these guys are going about 12.2 in the half mile. So really picking up a lot of speed, doubling the length. I think that's kind of where I got locked up last week. But let's go ahead and get to our race prep screen here, man. These guys are going to have an awesome run here tonight. Race info here at Charlotte. As we're getting going around here, humidity about 46%. And the track temperature at 64, so a little chilly on the track. And you're going to see, as the year sets on, how much colder it's going to get. So I'm assuming the race surface is going to get a little bit harder and a little harder to chew up really to get these cars to settle in. Here at Charlotte, Topside Tuesday, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. These guys are about to get under qualifying, so let's go ahead and take a peek here what these guys can do. We are looking at Steve Maurer here in the 888. Maurer Farm Management. All right, looks like he's got Flatline Racing Bodies on the side of his car as well. Looking good from him, so we'll kind of take a peek at his qualifying session here. As he gets going around. All right, brought to you by 21 Designs. Super excited to have them sponsoring this league. I'm sure a bunch of their paint schemes are out here for sure. Go ahead, let's see. 21 Designs makes wrap for all dirt racing needs. In addition, they also do 1/18th scale RC wraps. I appreciate everyone's support that is trusted in doing their wraps and paints. Don't forget to check them out on Facebook at 21 iRacing Designs. Boy, let's see. Steve Maurer there kind of placed a little bit of a slower time. They're landing in the 16th position. A lot of faster cars there up in front of him. Jeff Barker there in the 8th. Dan McLaren there, we kind of saw him in the last race. He's in 6th. Floro, man, talk about turning it around. Kind of had a bummer heat last round in the wingless 360s. Now he's taking the top qualifying time. Brandon Dittmer, Spangler, and Grandy here. Go ahead and line it up for the top 3 in qualifying. As we got our fastest times up there on the board. 22 guys lined up for this one. This will be exciting to see how this one gets around. Let's see where John Hine ended up. I think John Hine ended up in the 9th place in his 71 machine. Tied, I think, with Richard Holland there.
Yeah, I had a 230. He had a 236. Just took a conservative lap there, and pretty happy with where I'm going to be. I think that's going to give me a good starting spot in the heat race. So, this is, we saw it in the last one there. You saw top line, saw bottom line. You're going to see a lot of the same thing here. These guys, this is a sprint car league for the most part. Most of these guys in here are used to running that big wing up here. So this one, believe it or not, these cars are a little bit easier to drive than the non-wings. But, these guys here we're back in their comfort zone, should I say.
All right. For some of the people out there watching who aren't very acclimated to dirt racing, what does the wing provide for the car out there on the dirt track?
Well, stability. The cornering speed is much, much, much higher. You get through the corner, if I was here in the non-wing, I'd have had a lift somewhere in the corner, and here I just matted it around the top and was able to hold it down. That wing just basically plants the car to the track and lets you utilize the power.
All right. And power we will have to see with these guys lining up here. Gambler Motorsports going ahead and covering Tuesdays as our main sponsor. Super excited at that, but we are not going to kind of shy away from our Heat 1 people here. Sponsoring Heat 1 of Langton Mechanical, second to none heat and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area. Professionally trained specialists there every step of the way. They guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, maintenance service of your heating and cooling system. And every installation and maintenance service calls back to 100%. All right, let's go ahead and get the guys lined up here. Holland in first, Schatzer second, Grandy third. Jeff Floro there in the 4th. Randy Shrees 5th. Steven Spees, our winner of the last section there that we saw, in 6th. Doyle Lawrence there in the 7th. And Bruce Hilton rounding up the top 8. As we go ahead and dice this one back away. Everybody looking good out there, like those paint jobs. I always say Joseph Grandy, he's got that psychedelic kind of that blue, lime green, and purple there. As Joseph Grandy in the 518, he'll be starting, I believe, 3rd. Out of them, and you can just kind of hear all that power out there. So these guys are going to be crazy fast compared to what we just saw. Appreciate everybody joining us here at Simtrax Broadcasting and the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we get this one underway here, as that pace truck does hop off real quick. 5 laps to go ahead and get this thing done to place for the heat. All right, as these drivers get ready, Schatzer Holland in the front row. Deep breath. Barney's got the green flag out. Wait for the wave. And away they go. All right, here we go. Schatzer and Holland up there in the front, looking share the same piece of real estate as they go ahead and separate very fast. But speaking of very fast, Joseph Grandy diving toward the inside there, showing that inside line is not to be forgotten about. As they're going ahead and wrapping their way around here. Holland driving down to that bottom, looking real good out there with that 116 car. Looks like a little clip out of the wall there from Jeff Floro, but he goes ahead and maintains, keeps it all in one piece. Grandy's starting to fall back there a little bit in his 518 car, but inside line still working out for him, but is he able to slide up in front of the 218 of Kurt Schatzer? As they get going around here, 3 to go. You definitely see, ladies and gentlemen, how this one kind of folds up really quick, how fast these guys get around here. Boys, they're zipping around. Grandy going ahead and really battling here for the lead. Up in front, 16 makes contact. Oh no, Richard Holland kind of got banged around there on that one. Boy, he felt that one. As the 116 is now falling back to the 4th place above the cutoff line. Grandy out front still, final lap as we get going. So Holland now having to battle Randy Shreves here for the 4th position. Holland is falling back now. I don't know if he has any damage, but it looks like Grandy is going to bring it home. So Grandy first, Schatzer second, Floro third, Holland 4th, Shreves 5th, Lawrence 6th, Spees 7th position, and Bruce Hilton back there in the 8th position. Definitely a little slower there from Steven Spees. A little unusual for him, as that brings us to our second one here. It looks like Magnum Race Designs offering designs offers iRacing Wraps hero cards for people who want attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times. Check out Magnum Race Designs on Facebook, where you can contact them directly through Messenger. Yeah, proud sponsor of the Coast to Coast Racing League's 358 Modified Division. All right. This is going to be awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Brian Dickens, Jeff Barker, and Canellis going to go ahead and start out our second heat here. Let's go ahead and get that up on the screen. Dittmer 4th. Landis will be 5th. Andrew Embach in the 410. And Jeffrey Kemper in the 181. So, man, looks like John Hine gets to sit out another heat here. As we get this one kind of boiling down here, show everybody's pretty paint jobs here. I like how, man, that's one thing about, this league is everybody's got something different. Each one of these cars is looking pretty snazzy out here.
Yeah, we got a lot of good painters involved in this league here, and I don't mind going to the 3rd heat. The track gets a little slicker, plus I get to watch these other guys and see what the track is doing, so give me a better advantage, maybe. Well, give us all that in that last heat race. We're going to know where we need to put our cars, and it'll be more of a challenge, I think, because of that.
All right. And this has been a good time to see Terry Landis try to work that bottom line, in the 61 machine that he's got there. But he is starting back there a little bit. He's starting kind of almost second to last row here, so he's got some work to do to try to fight his way up toward the front. But Jeff Barker and Brian Dickens up here in the front. Here we go. Green flag is out, and off we go. So Brian Dickens, great start there. So now he'll be going up front uncontested, really, as he slides way up high. Whoa! Joseph Canellis there. Super fast on that inside line. Almost hits that tire. Slide job, no says I. Brian Dickens slides his way down toward the inside, and he's able to hold off. But no, holy cow. The switch up between these two guys right here. Let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit here as we take a look. Yeah, you just kind of see the slide up. Oh, as they make contact. Brian Dickens and Joseph Canellis there really make a lot of contact, pushing each other around. That inside line is working, but it carries so much speed. Oh no! And Canellis is around. 3 to go, and he is blown to pieces here. We are going to stay under green flag. He has suffered heavy damage. Brandon Dittmer in the 3rd place, so that leaves Dickens, Barker, and Dittmer. Wow, try that, saying that 3 times fast. Up here in the top 3, which leaves Andrew Embach here in the 4th position. These guys are kind of scooting around here pretty good. White flag is out, so this is Brian Dickens to lose here in the 122 machine. But Jeff Barker's going to try to give it another run here in the 2nd heat of the 410s. So Dickens, Barker, and Dittmer. They're 1, 2, 3. Andrew Embach, Kemper. They're in the 5th, and it looks like Terry Landis goes ahead and nails that 6th position to Joseph Canellis there. He may have gone ahead and totaled out of the race on that one. So hopefully his race crew can go ahead and piece that one back together and figure out what in the world they got to get done here. So that will bring us to our third heat. And our third heat will be brought to you by the Salty Dogs Racing Team. Salty Dogs Racing Team is composed of many of the senior members of the Coast to Coast Racing League and have been released from the home to create havoc and chaos on the track. Whenever 3 or more of those dogs are in the race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. And I'm sure they are excited about getting one of those. Let's go ahead and get that grid up so you guys know where everybody's starting. So Bob DeGood and John Hine in the front row. Dan McLaren, Patrick Spangler here in 3 and 4. Jason Sams and Stephen Maurer. Steve Maurer, gotcha. 6th position, and Steven Bixler in the 7th. All right, let's go ahead and get a good look at these guys coming around the track. I don't know about you guys, but they look fantastic out there on the track. I'll go ahead and give a little shout out to the Steve King Foundation. They were formed of the dirt track racing community for the financial assistance of the driver, pit crew members, and the race officials, track operations personnel. If you're involved with the track, they've got you, especially their immediate families for the individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, and or death. Man, now I hope that hate to see that last one. But let's take a look at that 7 car of Bob DeGood there with that all about tie-dye on the outside. Now, good to see him out here. Looks like Velocity Motorsports on the side as well. But it looks like that pace truck is getting ready to duck on off here. These guys are getting locked and loaded. Got a little way to go around. I don't know how these guys don't get the jitters having to go around and complete another turn before they get going. I expect to see Steve Maurer do a definitely a good slide job here on Patrick Spangler in the 39, but we'll have to see how this holds up. So John Hine, Bob DeGood as we get going here. John Hine on the top in the 71. Bob DeGood there riding on the inside, but boy, look at that 88 machine of Dan McLaren. Making hard moves, holy cow. It looks like they almost connect, and he slides them right up the track. John Hine, oh no! John Hine is mashed to pieces as he is flipping around still. Man, as that left front maybe totaled out on that one. Gonna duck on off, allowing Bob DeGood to go ahead and get around here. Holy cow. All right, Bob DeGood, Patrick Spangler. Spangler having a fight with Dan McLaren here for the 2nd position. These two guys, whoa. Like Bob DeGood there kind of jammed into some hard dirt there and kind of got him tangled up there. So now Bob DeGood fighting for the 3rd place, now 4th. Bob DeGood back to 4th, which now puts Spangler in the 1st position. As Jason Sams, man on the move, up 3 positions. So these guys, 39 and the 911, up here in 1 and 2. As the final lap, white flag is out. So Spangler still leading this race here. Looks like he's got enough room to go ahead and pull this one away. So the shot for Sams and McLaren, 2nd and 3rd. Bob DeGood here in the 4th position. And Maurer will come in 5th. Looks like Steven Bixler there in the 6th, and John totaled out, so hopefully they will be able to piece that one back together as that thing got mashed to pieces.
Yeah, and my mama told me a long time ago, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I think that's probably the route I'm going to take right now.
All right, man. Well, hopefully you were able to kind of take some of that medication, because I'm sure you're pretty sick from that spin in there. That did look pretty ugly, especially since you are one of the racers out there, few of the racers out there I know that do VR, so that had to look very ugly from the inside.
Yeah, it did. It seemed like that took a while before I stopped tumbling down the track.
All right. Man, that was definitely a crazy mix-up there. This intermission warm-up will be brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies, produced by former NASCAR Regional Short Track Champion Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. All right, and we also don't want to forget C2C Kids Club, brought to you by We Let the Dogs Out For You. All right, man, these are a lot of, oh boy, bang. Somebody else into the deal. Take a quick little chopper view here. And that chopper view, of course, brought to you by Ace Designs. Up there on the top as we're taking a little look here at Steven Bixler there in the 75. A lot of guys have to get this one wrapped up. Interesting to see from some of these guys, kind of smooth out the dents out here. We are seeing a little bit of that buildup that you showed me last week. That buildup is starting to get kind of higher toward the track. Seeing a couple of these cars kind of bumping around. I know the 83 car here of Brandon Dittmer was out there trying it out a little bit, and I think he may have thought it a little wise to run that lane just a little bit lower in case he gets caught up in that. As we see 18, 20, and 22 people are signed up. 18 guys are going ahead and practicing here in the warm-up. Don't go away, everybody. We do, after the 410s here, these guys wrap this one up. We are going to be at Talladega. Really, you know, if you like seeing crazy racing, stick around for that asphalt race. As you know, these guys are going to be going 3 wide at the Alabama track. That is going to be a blast on that one. You know, if you guys tuned in here to Simtrax Broadcasting last time, Daytona was a little bit of a mix-up, but Bob Light, he had some great movement there, and I believe Preston Cranmer, he kind of got mashed up on some of those some of those ones he had out there. He ended up, I think, flying about 500 feet in the air. And if you keep tuned in to Simtrax Broadcasting and our YouTube page, and even Coast to Coast, we'll be posting up there as well, kind of a roundabout look from our angle. Again, really kind of what he had going on and the ride we took along with him. So our warm-up is going ahead and boiling down here. John Hine is going to have another chance to go ahead and see if he can straighten this one out. Hopefully he doesn't get this one bent up. All right, so this will bring our Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. The Super Dirt Car Series, the Northeast Premier Series, showcasing the big block modifieds premier driver. From Florida to Canada, the Super Dirt Car Series visits some of the most exciting dirt tracks and in front of the biggest crowds. The ground-pounding, earth-shattering, window-rattling beast of the Northeast. It's the Super Dirt Car Series. I'm excited to see how we get this one underway, as we got a lot of fast cars up here in the front. As I speak of that, that'll put us as Joseph Grandy and Brian Dickens up here in the front. Let's go ahead and get that fancy grid up there that you guys love to see. All right. Looks like Brian Dickens in the second, Patrick Spangler third, Kurt Schatzer fourth, Jeff Barker fifth, Jason Sams sixth. Flaro will end up being seventh, and Dittmer eighth. McLaren will be ninth, Richard Holland 10th. Andrew Mbach there in the 11th, and Bob DeGood. He fell back there a little bit in that heat, but no fear, he will start 12th for his machine. As we move on to the 13th position of Randy Shreves, that'll bring Jeffrey Kemper into the 14th. Steve Maurer there in the 15th. Doyle Lawrence there in the 16th. Looks like Joseph Canellis. We saw him total out there in the first heat with Steven Bixler in the 18th. Steven Spees won our last round there at the wingless and the midgets the past 2 weeks. Terry Landis will be in the 20th position, which John Hine, after we saw his quick little tumble there, ended up in the 21st position, and Bruce Hilton in the 22nd. That is going to round up everybody on the track here for the fixed 410s. I'm excited to see what these guys have to push around here on the track. This is going to be a heck of a shot, as I believe pace truck is off. So that is going to bring Grandy and Dickens. This is going to be a heck of a race. Let's kind of give you a little shot here. Look at everybody kind of stacking up here on the line. 30 laps in this one. These guys have 30 laps to get it done. So if you're somebody like Kemper back there in the 13th or Shreves in the 14th, you've got to get a move on, as these cars are super fast and they're getting ready to get it done. Barney raised the green flag, and away we go. So Brian Dickens. Whoa, Brian Dickens, what in the world just happened? Look out. As we got our first caution, as we saw that one happen live. Glad we were kind of zoomed out on that one. Let's try to get real quick back to what happened there. All right, let's kind of get a good shot here of what the angle of what happened here. Yeah, we kind of get going on the restart. Whoa. Yeah, the 122, almost like he kind of shot toward the inside and then lost everybody there. Man, a lot of cars got caught up in that one. A lot of cars got caught up. Let's see if we can find just a little bit of a different angle here as we get going. Let's see if we can find... I want to kind of see what happened to the 122 car here. 122 gets a good launch. Oh, wow, just dove way too early into that turn. So 122 collects the 513 of Jeff Barker there. Yeah, and then it just starts collecting the rest of the field. 116 comes, gets caught up, Richard Holland. Oh, the 75 car. Looks like a Steven Bixler there, and they kind of get mashed to pieces there. Really unfortunate by a lot of these guys, so I hope some of them are able to kind of return back out here on the track. Looks like Dickens and Bixler there are on the infield. All right, so that'll get us restarted here in just a little bit. So that'll keep us Grandy up front, Spangler second, Schatzer third, Jason Sams fourth, and fifth place will be Brandon Dittmer. All right, so I believe we're about to go back under green flag. Pace truck is off. We're back under green, so here we go. This is a nice single file restart, so you won't see everybody mash up too hard. Up front, looks like Spangler and Grandy are going ahead and kind of keeping their distance from each other. Because we're getting ready to, whoa, 83, making a lot of quick moves there. This is kind of mixing up my little tower up here, but have no fear, we'll still get it squared away here. 83 of Brandon Dittmer really dove it in there, and he's able to slide his way up. It kind of dies there, right there on the turn exit. Wow. Get pit out of my mind right as he gets going around here, diving into turn 3. Oh no, the 88 machine of Dan McLaren there. Oh no. Look out, everybody. And great job by the rest of the field kind of avoiding that one. He is definitely going to need to be towed from that one. Let's go ahead and get back there to Dan McLaren there, kind of getting folded up and around. Don't like the way that one looked. Let's go ahead and get a quick replay here of the 88 machine. Boy, yeah, you definitely see he got loose kind of heading down that back, and we were talking about that hump, and he's kind of hitting those dirt humps, and it definitely kind of bucked his car right there. Wow, all right, let me see if I can roll that back just a little bit and see if I can get us a cockpit view of that roll here, and you'll kind of see how he's bumping around. All right, kind of inside the car. Yeah, you kind of see that right side kind of hopping up on him, and then boom. Kind of rolls it around. End over end. Look out. And in the middle. And great job, like I said, great job by everybody going ahead and getting clear of that one. All right. Let's go ahead and bring us back live. I believe the pace truck lights are out. And that should bring, I believe that should still have Grandy up here in the front, followed closely by Patrick Spangler. Good to see Spangler up here. I know he had a little trouble last week out of his 410, I believe. Actually, Spangler placed 7th last time around. Steve Goldner placed 1st, Shreve 2nd, and Terry Landis placed 3rd. So we'll have to see if Landis can go ahead and battle his way back up to the front. Landis right now back in the 15th position, so he's got some work to do, but we are back under green. Hopefully these guys are able to kind of keep it a little bit cleaner. That way we can go ahead and get a few of these green flag laps underway, get some more passing. I'm sure somebody like Terry Landis, who's now moved up to the 13th position, would like to get a good shot. You know, somebody like John Hine, who started back there in the 20-some-odd position, up to the 15th now, so he's making good moves. Right now, Steven Spees up 7 positions right now back here in the 55. He's moving pretty well, but boy, he got caught up in the humps just as I said that, and now we're under caution again. Holy cow, boy, and I tuned to that just in time, and Steven Spees is really going to give me an earful after that one. All right, let's go ahead and roll back here to Spees. Kind of get a better shot of what happened here, as you kind of see up on that top. You see how he's kind of bucking his car around there a little bit, hitting those humps. Oh no, it looked like somebody else. It looks like also John Hine also got messed up. Let's get to his vehicle, and then we'll hear a little piece from John Hine of what in the world happened there. Getting up in the humps as well. On that turn, oh boy, and then he kind of got sideswiped there a little bit by, I believe, I'm not sure if that's the 51 machine. He kind of got banged up around there. All right. So, John, what was your take on that one there, bud?
I drove into the wall. So, a little bit of a ride. We'll go in here and get a new, get her all fixed up. And let's go back out here and turn some laps.
All right, man. I'm assuming you guys are able to get some...
Yeah, we got one fast repair here.
Good thing. Good thing, because I know a lot of these drivers are having a heck of a time out here trying to keep these things on the pavement here. Out there in the chat, Stella, I am not ignoring you. I see you. Hopefully I can get more of you guys out there in the chat. Go Grandy, love the Mystery Machine paint job. I'm sure he likes it too, because I have not seen him in a car that is not really representing that paint scheme there. All right, pace truck is off, and if Joseph Grandy can do a good job, he should be able to go ahead and stay up front here. Right now, he's rolling around in the second position. These guys are going to have a heck of a shot. Let's see. Spangler, Grandy, Schatzer, Dittmer, and Sams for your top 5 as we are back under green here on the Topside Tuesday, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. As we get going around here, this is going to be awesome, awesome, awesome from a lot of these drivers, but we are back under caution. That did not last long. Not quite sure who got folded up in that one. I believe Bob DeGood may have been caught up in that one. Let's take a little peek here. Back with Bob DeGood. Seems to kind of really like that gearbox view, but I do not. Let's take a look here. Bob DeGood in the number 7. Gets a little bump there right at the restart. Let's see what happens. Oh, caught the tire. All right, as long as it's one car. Oh, boy, as that causes a stack up there. Boy, that was close. That was close. So, interesting to see, you know, and John, really, that may be something I kind of pass it to you here. You clip that, if you clip those tires on the inside, how much damage? I mean, is there a chance to ricochet off and continue, or is it?
Yeah, you lose. If you get anywhere near those tires and touch them, yeah, you lose. It'll knock it'll take your whole front end out, wreck you. I can't think of any car, not even the street stocks or late models. It really doesn't matter here. You touch those tires, I hope you've got your belts buckled, because you're going to probably go for a ride.
All right. I was not sure. I'm glad you kind of straightened that out. I wasn't sure, you know, if you kind of bump it, yeah, maybe a spin out, but does the car survive? I'm not seeing that at this point. Bob's good there, back in the 18th position. Looks like he may have gone ahead and taken that fast repair, kind of squared that one away. He's got that ABR setup shop there on the front as well. I knew he did start up front, and I know he's kind of having a little bit of trouble here, kind of getting banged around. I know these cars, guys are having a heck of a time. I think Charlotte, you know, is kind of changing up for you guys. You know, I'm just wondering if there's something different with the track here, and you guys are having a little bit of a mix-up. But no harm, no foul. We are here and excited to see these 410s getting running around the track here. But really, Spangler getting another great start there as he gets pulled away. Joseph Grandy close in tow. The 218 of Kurt Schatzer there. Ooh, boy. Yeah, and I don't think anybody's kind of noticing those humps on the top of the track. They got to pull down just a little bit, as we see a lot of cars riding there toward the top, and they're kind of getting mashed up. It looks like John may have gone around again. All right, let's go to a quick replay here.
Yeah, that one was my fault. I hit that bump and got up into the fence there.
Looking at John Hine. Ooh, on the wall. Yeah, just couldn't recover. Oh no! This is not Tony Hawk Pro Skater. All right. It looks like you go ahead and land. Your car's torn up pretty bad. Is it survivable or is it done?
It's done.
Dude.
That's all right. How the cookie crumbles. I mean, yeah, we had to use a fast repair when I drove into the fence back there. So that's just, like I said, the way the cookie crumbles, we'll get ready to go run at Talladega. I mean, what could possibly go wrong there?
I like that. What could possibly go wrong there, man? That is going to be a hard one on this. To say there's always something going on. But Patrick Spangler is going to be our guy taking off for the green flag. I know it says Jeff Floro up there, but I believe he's been in pit for a little while. Joseph Grandy here in second, Kurt Schatzer third. That'll put Brandon Dittmer fourth and Jason Sams in fifth. These guys, top 5 really haven't shuffled up much. I know they want to get some green flag racing here. About 11 minutes into this thing, we ain't got 10 laps in the books here, John. I know, like I said, I just think the track is kind of changing a little bit differently. As we kind of move to the blimp view here, you know, the track is breaking down a little bit, but you are seeing almost 3 lines.
Yeah, you are. It's a little bit slick, but these guys primarily, the fastest cars they normally run are the 360s, and they run those a few times through the week. So this extra power under the axle there, creates a little more tire spin, a little more challenge to keep the car up on the banking and everything else. So, um, you know, they'll get the hang of it, I'm sure, as the season goes on here, as we got back to green flag racing.
Oh yeah, that we are. Hopefully your VR goes ahead and holds out for you for the Talladega race coming up. But right now, 410s is where it's at. As we get Kurt Schatzer here in the 81, or the 18. I'm getting me a little mixed up. Says 218 there, says 18 on his car. Kind of like Landis said, but have no fear as we are back under caution. No! As it looks like Mr. Doyle there may have gone ahead and bent this one. Let's go ahead and see if we can find what happened out to Mr. Doyle.
That the old tire on the bottom.
Oh man, caught him too, huh? All right, let's kind of take a little shot out here. Let's get a look. Now, let's get closer. There we go. Let's kind of see what kind of unfolded here. Let's see. Got a good line there. Oh, it's okay. Oh, another second dive. Yeah, it's like it jammed up there. Yeah, I can't say anything bad, man. I can't dirt race to save my life. But these guys are getting around the track here pretty well. But if you guys out there in the chat, I mean, at this point, I know we do have a lot of cautions, but hey, if you're looking to call out somebody you think's going to win it, let me know. Terry Landis is up 10 positions. He went, he is in the 10th position here. 9th, excuse me. Moving his way up front in the 61 car. Right now, he is a big mover of the race, up 11 positions. He's got Joseph Canelson and Kemper in front of him, but I'm sure Steve Maurer there in the 10th would like to go ahead and get a shot in on him as well in the 888 machine. We'll have to see how this one gets going, man. 18 to go. This is kind of a bang up. These guys are kind of really putting it to it. And like you're saying, I'm just wondering if so much power underneath the rear axle, is just kind of surprising them. You're getting going, and now you're diving it in too deep, and it's not carrying you. Or you got too much power in it, and it's driving you all the way up the wall. But as you kind of take a quick peek there, you do see the humps all along that wall. Kind of has that wavy look. So long as these guys kind of drop it down about another half a car length, they should survive. But Grandy says, I'm going to drop it down more than that as he goes ahead and slides down toward the bottom there. Working his way on the inside, seeing if he can go ahead and capture the lead with 17 to go here as they get going around. This is a blast from all these drivers here. As we get going here in the fixed 410s, we came from the wingless 360s, but Spangler goes ahead and retains the lead and is now starting to put the distance on Grandy in the 518 machine. Grandy falling back by over a second, so Spangler might have this one in the bag as long as we can stay under green. Schatzer third, Dittmer back here in the fourth, and as I say that, we are under our 7th caution here.
Yeah, it looked like Jason Sams got pretty loose up on the top. I think got into the wall and clipped Joe Canellis, and then it was on. A few guys got into that one.
Oh, man. Oh, I hate it when you say that. All right. Now let's go ahead and see what Jason Sams here in the 911 car has for us. Up there toward the top, making a little moving around. Got a good bit of speed there. Oh, yeah, hit the little bumps again. That's one of those things. Oh! I believe that was the 116 as well of Richard Holland, still getting tangled up back there. So as Richard Holland gets a good run, he starts getting banged up and banged around again. Hate to see it. Man, oh man, oh man. Looks like we're going to have ourselves another Mission 22 restart. Up here, up front. This race brought to you by 21 Designs and Gambler Motorsports. This is going to be another run here. Oh, I got a little bit from Gambler Motorsports here. Gambler Motorsports is an esports racing team that competes weekly across the iRacing platform. A team that has drivers entering dirt races, sports cars, asphalt oval, And they even compete in endurance races. This year, they will have drivers in the prestigious 24 Hours of Daytona and Le Mans. Go to Gambler Motorsports on Facebook and follow them. Man, that's one thing, John. I'm telling everybody, follow everybody. Follow C2C, follow Simtrax Broadcasting, follow Gambler Motorsports. I'm telling you what, man, if you like everything you're seeing, make sure you follow and contact everybody I'm mentioning to you guys. Because these guys got deals and they got great racing out here. Pace truck lights are off the track. Spangler getting another restart here. A couple of guys are licking their wounds down in pit, down in there, since they've gone ahead and bowed out and going ahead and getting lined up for Talladega here. Spangler very dangerous up into those humps again. Last thing you want to do is really lose this car. We're so close getting to the end. We got 13 to go, 12 when he gets to the line. But yeah, you see him riding that high line, starting to cut a new route. Very, very dangerous, but it is working for him right now as he already has a 1.7 second lead on Grandy here, who's now battling back here with Schatzer in the 18 machine. Ooh, Schatzer gets way high, and you see him kind of clipping that wall a little bit, but man, look at that speed. He can get off that turn, so Grandy now back to third and is now under fire by Dittmer. Dittmer taking the high line. Seems that high line is more favorable, so Grandy kind of falling back there a little bit, and now the battle will be between Schatzer and Dittmer. It looks like Schatzer there tries to keep it down low. And up high, kind of slide jobbing each other up front. Slide job, kind of diving low into the turn, ride high and cut the guy off for a good block. So 9 to go. So it looks like Spangler, Dittmer, Schatzer, Grandy, and Kemper here are going to go ahead and be at your top 5 right now. Bob DeGood got tangled up there for a little bit, but has fought his way back to the 6th position. Good moving up there by him as well, as we got somebody kind of messing around back here. Terry Landis is flipping, and we are to our 8th caution. Boy, Landis was doing so well. Landis is doing so well. Oh, man. And any of those Terry Landis fans out there, I feel your pain. I'm sure he would like to have that one back. A lot of drivers kind of getting mixed up here. Let's see. It says Steve Maurer may have been to start this one. So we'll see what Maurer had in the 888. And see if he had anything to do with this. Ooh, yep, right there. Maurer, Landis, and I believe the 56 machine. Ooh, I do not have a 56. Gotta have to straighten that number out. But Landis definitely taking a ride there.
Well, 56 should be Randy Shreves.
Oh, okay. It's showing him all the way at the top of my ticker. Shame on it. Boy, yeah, that is going to be heartbreaking for Landis there.
And Randy looks like he took it to the house. He's done.
Whew. All right, let's see if we can take a ride along here with Landis here real quick before we get back on the green. Got a good line. Boy, and he's going to tell me this is exactly why he takes that low line. Around and around and around. Whoa. Man. Man, you hate to see that. Gosh. All right. Go ahead and get this one back live. We're back under green. Here we go. 7 to go left in this one. Spangler, Dittmer, and Schatzer. I definitely expect to see a good battle here between the 18 and the 83 car. These two guys getting around the track, but they are now starting to spread out a little bit. I think everybody just kind of wants to survive toward the end. Definitely good mix-up by these guys, but you definitely see the distance here. I mean, Dittmer put... Oh, no! Dittmer... No! Dittmer is around, and the caution is back out. Dittmer folds his up, and it looks like he got up into the bumps. All right, we were under green flag there for a little bit. All right, let's get back to Dittmer in his 83 machine. Boy, that was a bang up there. All right, let's go ahead and take another shot here. Bump, bump, bump. Ooh, definitely gets him loose right there. Bam. I like how the wing just like takes a little while and says, you know what? Nah, we're good. Go ahead and hop off here. All right, looks like Dittmer may be taking that one to the pits. Let's see if he fixed that one up. Looks like the wing is back on it. They may give him an EOL there. Let's see. Yes, Dittmer will start back here. Leave in the 13th position is where he will be. Wow. Yeah, you're about there battling for second, and now you're back here in the 13th. Definitely a bummer. As we're going to go ahead and drag this around one more lap. Go ahead and turn those pace truck lights out as we get going around here. All right. Some of these guys on the track are ready to wrap this one up. This should be a good shootout. You know, we all do have 5 to go. Spangler, Schatzer, Grandy, Kemper, and DeGood. This will be the highest shot for Bob DeGood I've seen in his 7 machine, so hopefully he's able to kind of hold out and stay out of trouble. He's got a lot of cars behind him looking to make a lot of moves. And Spangler gets a heck of a shot off there. He definitely does not want to be under fire by Kurt Schatzer there. A huge shot there, but let's go ahead and rotate back here to Joseph Grandy in the 4th position. Kind of trying to make some moves on the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper there. Kemper trying to take a peek there. Not enough speed. Just goes ahead, tries to get a little more. Kind of creeping in just a little bit, but not quite enough. Let's rotate back here to Andrew Embach there. As he was under fire there for a little bit by Barker. Ooh, Embach, look out. Oof. We'll see if that brings out another caution. Yes, it does. We are almost to the white flag there. All right.
Almost.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say this is a painful one. This is an unusual one.
Yes, it is. This is, yeah, this has not been a very clean race. Probably one of the least clean ones that we put on. But you know what? That's bound to happen from time to time. I mean, it is dirt racing, and the track conditions look pretty gnarly out there. I mean, it looks awful slick.
Yeah, we are looking at Dittmer hitting the wall there again. He says the 911 had some trouble. There he is. 911's turned around. Yeah, there were a lot of people in this one getting tangled up. We saw Dittmer getting turned around. It says Barker had some trouble. Let's see if we can see what happened to Barker here. He got turned around. Oh, man, and see, and there's another tangle up. So we saw one live. We're seeing Barker here get banged up, and then we saw Jason Sams get turned around. So I just think the track's falling to pieces here.
Yeah, and I mean, I got 4 minutes left of my repair of my car. Hell, I might be able to get out there and make a lap.
Yeah, it is possible, as we are under our 10th caution. So there maybe have a little chat up there with race control, and they say, what in the world is going on? I believe... we don't have many cars still left on the lead lap. I believe out of the 22 that started, I believe only about 12 of you are still on the lead lap.
Heck, it did let me out of the pits.
All right, Galaxy 83. Love some good old sprint car racing. I do as well. And Patrick Spangler would definitely like to bring this one home. He's kind of had enough of this one as we're getting around to the front. Schatzer second, Grandy third. These might be your top guys as they come up. White flag is out. All right, so white flag's out. Doesn't matter what happens from here on out. Just got to finish the race. So Grandy is the only one that's going to really be under fire here by Jeffrey Kemper in the 181, as I definitely expect to see him send it. Oh, and he does. And he eats the wall for it, as now he is dialing back to the 6th, 7th. Now he's even farther out, and the race is over. Spangler, Schatzer, Grandy, DeGood comes in 4th, and Richard Holland for your top 5. Canella 6th, Bruce Hilton 7th, 8th is Jason Sand, Embach nails 9th, and Jeffrey Kemper folds his car up and ends up 10th. Oh man, wow, what a bummer there right there toward the end. Holy cow! And that'll be our top guys right here for at least the top 18 here on our board. Wow. Wow, what in the world was that? All right, and that's going to wrap it up for that one. Let's go ahead and have a little chat with some of our drivers here at the Coast to Coast Network. Man, I'm excited to see how, what these guys had to say. It dragged out a little longer than I thought it was going to. And here we are. So, Grandy, definitely out there, hoping for a good run out of his vehicle there. So let's go ahead and talk to Joseph Grandy in the 518. Here we go, Joseph Grandy, man. Do you got a copy on me here?
How you doing?
Oh, dude, what? That one lasted a lot longer than I think you expected there, bud.
Yeah, I was just trying to survive.
All right, well, you go ahead and bring the 518 home in third place. You were definitely under fire there by a few drivers there tonight. Were you concerned at all?
My experience on super slick tracks is very minimum. So, but yeah, I was getting nervous. They kept taking themselves out. So.
All right. Well, we definitely saw you run low lines. We saw you run high lines. What seemed to work out better?
I was struggling on all ends at the end, honestly. So.
All right. Well, even one of our viewers out there said they love the Mystery Machine paint job.
They all have it.
All right. Well, you go ahead and you placed, let's see, 4th last week here in the 410s, and you nail a 3rd this time. You're working. You're working your way up. We're gonna have a 2nd or a win for you next week.
Hopefully, depends on the track.
All right. Well, we'll definitely have to see about that, but still a 3rd place finish here. Great job out of you, bud. Go ahead and give me your shout outs.
Appreciate it. Just broadcast Coast to Coast and everybody that makes this possible.
All right. Fantastic job tonight, bud. Short and sweet. I love it. Talladega is next. Hope to see you there, Joseph.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good night.
You too. All right. Joseph Grandy in the 518, which brings up Kurt in the 218. It does say 18 on his car, but I believe there it is. Yeah, see Louis Bitty 2 there in our replay. All right. Let's have a chat here with Kurt. Kurt, you got a copy on me here?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, fantastic job out there, bud. You kind of had a battle up there in the front. A lot of cautions there tonight. Did that kind of shake you up at all?
Yeah, it was way too many cautions than I would like. I never really found I could get into a rhythm with a caution coming out every 2 laps, it seemed.
Yeah. I think probably a good 12 to 18 lap run. I think you guys would have really been able to settle it there. Patrick Spangler really took off there. Was there any kind of a plan to try to run him down? Because he had those restarts going and then he just kind of took off. Was there a place where you were finding you were faster than he was?
I felt like maybe going in low on 1 and 2, maybe if I could have got close enough to him or something. But yeah, like you said, them restarts, he would just leave me.
Yeah, and definitely that track breaking down the way it was, it just kind of, not being able to get enough laps in to get that thing kind of secured and put away, is just, it does make it pretty hard there. But man, really, awesome job by the 218 here tonight, placing 2nd place. I mean, is there anything you could have done? I mean, other than what we did? I mean, I'm assuming your answer is going to be less cautions.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I could have just hung with him, but Patrick, he's pretty tough there. So, like I said, man, them restarts, he just walked right away from us. So I doubt I would even had anything for him. I was just trying to hang on and bring home a good finish for the night.
All right, well, all the people out there watching you and the sponsors on the car, go in and give me a shout outs here, bud.
Yeah, I got to thank the team, Hammer Down Racing, everybody on there, Brandon Templeton, Brian Dickens, and Joe Halter, the sponsors, Dirt Track Bank, Got Your Six Racing Network, and Nick Vickery and VMR Wraps.
All right, I also see Schatzer Roofing there on the top of your car. So we'll go ahead, quick little shout out to them as well. But fantastic job there, bud. Here in the broadcast, we are lining up for Talladega. Will we see you there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, man, so you're a dirt guy. No asphalt for you, huh?
No asphalt for me. Maybe one day.
All right, man. Well, there's definitely three wide racing there. So if you decide to shake off the cobwebs there and give it a run, that's where we'll be, man. Great job tonight.
All righty, thank you.
All right, Kurt Schatzer there. Awesome job by him going ahead and placing that second place position. Definitely was a mix-up, and that's kind of what you're hearing out of some of these guys. You can just hear it in their voices, John. Just that frustration. Everybody kind of wanted I want some green flag laps. You got all this power underneath the hood, and I wasn't able to make them run.
Yeah, and like I said, that happens sometimes. It is dirt racing. That was probably one of the rougher races that you'll ever see in C2C.
All right, we are going to go ahead and get our victory lane here, brought to you by Cool Ray Heating and Air Conditioning. The goal is to make sure that Ray's tradition of 100% customer satisfaction lives on today. Cool Ray is proud of their reputation by providing excellent service to homeowners and businesses in Georgia. Their mission is to continue to build long-lasting relationships with their customer through their winning spirit and commitment to 100% satisfaction guaranteed. As we go ahead and wind up our race winner here tonight, which is Patrick Spangler. Super fast job by him in that 39 machine. Really had that thing dialed in. Let's go ahead and have a little chat with him. Patrick Spangler. There you are. Patrick Spangler, you got a copy on me?
Yep, gotcha.
All right, dude, man, fast card here tonight. Yeah, definitely had those restarts down. Is that kind of the way you found your win was tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just couldn't get any rhythm with all the cautions. I think we started with like 22 cars, finished at 11, 25-minute race. So it was all about the restarts, just staying out front, not losing in turn one and putting it in the wall, and just trying to keep your rhythm. Yeah.
Did you find that the track breaking down at all was causing you any problems there?
No, because I mean the top where I was running was you still had that fine line there where you could run. I was pretty confident up there, but the more caution laps you do, it just slickens it up, so it just makes it worse for anybody that was struggling. So just very slick track out there. It's tough, technical track then.
All right, we are kind of watching a little bit of a slow-mo here of you riding that high line. You do hit the bumps a little bit, and it kind of caught some of the drivers out there a little more than it did you. You were able to kind of compete with that. But speaking of competing, last week you placed 7th. Tonight you come home with a win. Fortunately, you are moving up, and a fantastic job you're doing here. Really, I know the cautions, and I hear the frustration in everybody's voice is really wanting to open this thing up and get it underway. But and the restarts and being able to stay out front. Was there anybody you were nervous about on the track that may have caught you here tonight?
My teammate Brandon Dittmer, he was there, but then bump caught him and he went flying through the air. So I looked at my rearview mirror and it looked like he was like Dogecoin going to the moon. But last week I wrecked a lot, or I damaged my car in the Monday race, and I damaged my rear end in the Tuesday race at Volusia. Just hit the front stretch wall. So as long as I didn't damage my car, I was confident here tonight, and glad to get the monkey off the back there.
All righty, man. And so far, you come away with the win here, so that's going to work out really well for you, especially in the points. But, are we going to, we get to see you out there at Talladega? That's what's coming up next year, moving over to asphalt.
Yeah, I'm not much of an asphalt guy. If we go to shorter track, maybe. I just, the super speedways, I don't really like too much. I'll race them every now and then, but just a break after that race. I'll be out in the trucks whenever we go to shorter tracks, though.
Okay. I was going to say, sometimes those super speedways, once you get to the shorter tracks, there's no room to move. There at Talladega, you will be able to have the chance to get 3 wide and give yourself a good shot there for a win. Really, it's anybody's game at that point. But fantastic job by you here tonight, man, and bringing home the win here at Charlotte. So go ahead and give me your shout-outs, man. Let's get you on the road.
Yeah, just you for putting the broadcast again, Roger for the league, Brandon Dittmer racing with me, teammate tonight, Dad and Uncle back home watching, and the flagman with a sore right arm.
I like that. I love that. All right, Patrick Spangler, great job tonight in that 39 machine, man, and hope to see you next week.
Sounds good. See you next week.
All right, John, and that is a fantastic roundup here for us here, especially in the 410 series. Man, we are moving out of the dirt and onto the asphalt. You guys have heard me say it multiple times. Talladega's coming up. There are going to be 50 laps there. I'm assuming it'll be a lot cleaner than it was at Daytona last week.
Oh, boy.
So it should give you guys plenty of room to move. The key is you guys not sending it 4 wide at that track. So, it's going to be a tangle up there, John.
Yeah, guys are just going to have to try to block a little less and hold a steady wheel. And like I said, it's a different mindset. And these guys are dirt racers. And, you've got to go and be aggressive. And when you're on asphalt like this in longer races, you've got time to be careful and be plotting and figure a way around somebody.
Yeah, oh yeah. So, all right, nice, calm, cool, collected. Everybody keeping their head on their shoulders, and really, with a race that long, it should go ahead and kind of mellow itself out. These trucks definitely get loose, and you don't want to scoop each other. But we're going to head to commercial. Guys, don't go away. I mean, we got asphalt racing coming up next. If you guys tune in to Syntrax Broadcasting, you know this is right in my wheelhouse. I'm super excited to have it get going, and we'll see you here in a few minutes.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
leader in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
Alrighty, welcome back everybody, and we are after the commercials. Still, joining alongside of me will be John Hine for the Tim Chapman Racing sponsored race here at Talladega. These guys just came off of dirt, trying to shake out all that mud out of the boots and go ahead and get their way onto an asphalt track. That, of course, being at Talladega. You'll kind of see here as we go through a few of these camera views. These things, this track is qualified 4-3 and 4 wide. Hopefully these guys are able to calm it down a little bit more tonight than they did last week. Last week at Daytona was a heck of a race. I know these guys were kind of getting the jitters for the first race of the season. Tim Chapman, ironically, comes in first. Michael Berthet in second. And Dan McLaren in third. Followed by Richard Holland fourth and Neil Strausser fifth. Bob Light, who was doing a lot of great driving, we rode along with him a lot in that last race. Going ahead and nailed the 6th position. Butch Baker in 7th. Andrew Smith 8th. Jeremy Tate 9th. And Joe Halter went ahead and nailed the 10th position for a top 10 finish here. These guys are going ahead and getting a few more practice laps underway as we get going. Let's take a little look at Gary Sigelkow here in the 25 Chevrolet that he's running. So let's get a little closer. See if we get a good shot of his paint job. I don't know if he's got any. Looks like Fanatec is sponsoring on his truck out there. So a lot of great drivers out here. It's not for lack of skill. I think it's hard just seeing, what you can do, especially in dirt. Is really there is no good slide job, especially here at a super speedway. I know we have about 26, 28 drivers getting ready to get lined up and secured for this one. As we get underway, I believe we have another driver in one of my other leagues I'll be broadcasting as well, Robert Lynch, Cruns for short, in the 121 machine. We'll see how he goes out there, but let's go ahead and get this one boiled down. Let's see how that track is looking here tonight on the racetrack. Let's see, Talladega. All right, so we know this is 2.6 miles of track here tonight. The biggest thing you're going to notice, that track temperature there at the bottom left at 100 degrees. So these tires won't take long to start getting heated up. Tires are not really going to be a factor here at this track, but fuel mileage will be. I believe these guys have a fast repair, so if they do bend it up one time, they'll go ahead and be able to get out there. Air temperature is 74 degrees. Beautiful 74 degrees. They're going to be able to go ahead and keep these out there for good engine power. Really, the key to winning here tonight is staying clean, finding a good friend out there, and really the draft. You got to be clean. If you're getting folded up and bent up, anything like we were last week, it's going to be a nightmare, especially for a lot of these drivers out here. So let's go ahead Now, and take a peek as we get going here to the front. We'll go ahead and pop up there, qualifying as these guys go ahead and get racing around here. So, Tim Chapman here at Talladega, man. I'm interested to see where he goes ahead and nails it with his win from last week. A lot of guys out here on the track. This is going to be awesome. You guys out there in the chat, don't be afraid to talk. I do read what you guys say out there. As long as you guys are on my 3 platforms, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. If you're over there at the Coast2Coast Racing Network on their YouTube page, that's okay as well. All right. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and man, you'll be able to catch all the great racing here, especially at Coast2Coast or with Simtrax Broadcasting as well. As we're taking a little peek here at the 77 machine of Bob Light. Like I said, we watched a lot of him last week, and I was really impressed with his driving. Seemed to be the way he knew his way around the track. We'll have to see how, see if he can repeat that performance. I mean, he got knocked down not once but twice, but still fought his way into the top 10. So anything is possible. But this being Talladega, really, anybody says, well, hey, man, we race in a Dega, and that's kind of really where you want to be. Seeing how these guys get going, as a couple of them, let's see, we probably have about 4 or 5 guys here going ahead and passing them across the finish line. We'll see where they end up. Light in the 4th position, John Hine there in the 5th, but that is only the first lap. You will see these times pick up. You are seeing about 56. We might be able to get about a mid 55 second lap on the qualifying. But when it comes to drafting, that is going to be a completely different animal. These guys are going to come out here and, these guys are going to be putting down 51, sometimes even 49 second laps if they can keep it clean. They will take a little while, actually almost about half the track to get up to speed, and then after that, away they go. But we got 50 laps here in the books. I'm sure these guys are chomping at the bit to get this going right there. Cruns taking a look at Robert Lynch here in the 121 Chevrolet. Good spread about of car manufacturers here. Good to see how they're going ahead and matching it up. Doesn't seem to really be a strong one out there, but right now we're Ford Toyota for the top 3. We still got a long way to go, about another minute and a half of qualifying time. Some of these guys may be just waiting a little bit longer before they go back out there, kind of waiting for a little more track heat there to get around. As you see, some of these guys are breaking that 55 second mark. Lynch goes ahead and nails down a fast time of 55.97 there. Good run by him. About a minute left in this one. All right. Bob Light kind of got bumped down there, back to the 14th position. All right. And a lot of fast trucks out here. It's a Toyota, Ford, Chevrolet right now, 1, 2, 3. We're taking a look here at Robert Lynch, looking like how he's going to go ahead and get his second lap in. He may be able to get just a little bit faster, and you can see he's only off by about, by less than a tenth. As he comes up to the finish line here, gotta hurry up. 10 seconds. All right, and that may be his fastest time that he was able to turn. All right. We are out of time. Everybody's locked and loaded, up and in. All right, looks like 27th and 28th did not qualify, and that would be Jeffrey Kemper and Roland Olson. So let's go ahead and roll this one out as these guys are going ahead and getting gridded up here as we get going. So Dan McLaren will be our guy up in the front row with Neil Strausser on the outside of him. So, man, that's going to be a fast front row. With Robert Lynch in the 3rd position, Richard Holland in the 4th. Let's go ahead and get a little closer to these guys. That way you guys can see what they look like. All right. And it looks like Pat Boyce there in the 5th. Christopher Berger there in the 6th position as soon as he gets loaded in. Looks like Joseph Canellis there in the 7th position, the 1 car. Terry Landis in the 161. So Cool car. You will not be able to miss him in that car. Zach Chapman, Jeremy Tate, 9 and 10. Jackson Lomax in the 11. Gary Sigelkow in the 25th position. John Rayner in the 302. Let's go ahead and rotate that a little bit there. All right, Bob Light, 14th position, back here in the 77 Chevrolet. Looks like Jason Sams in the 911, Mark Gilbert in the 76, Steven Bixler in the 75, which will put Bill Calder on the outside of him with Donovan Ross in the 5. Putting him in 19th and rounding out our top 20 will be Preston Cranmer. We saw him get launched into space last race, so hopefully he'll be able to keep 4 tires on the ground this time. Jeff Harworth there in the 45 machine. Looks like the number 200 of Jeff Flaro. Good to see him out here. Wasn't sure if he was going to make it. In the 22nd position. 23rd will be Andrew Smith. Looks like Dean Meltzer there in the 24th position. Boy, look at how many cars we got showed up here. Tim Chapman in the 25. In the 25th position, the 37, followed by John Hine here in the 71. Ford in the back. Jeffrey Kemper in his 181 Toyota in the 27th. And Roland Olson going ahead and rolling out in the 25. So a lot of these guys, let's go ahead and rotate up to some of these guys who weren't quite out here. Want to make sure they get some good camera time here. All right, that is going to round it out for us here so far. Some of this won't be based as much on the gap time here tonight. These guys are going to be pretty close together. I know, John, very daring of you to start so far in the back there, bud.
Yeah, I got about halfway through my second lap, and I thought, you know what? I don't know that I want to be up front with what we saw last week. I'm going to try to hang out and keep my car together here, and maybe towards the end we'll try to make a run up through there.
All right, so you're going to give it that Bob Light shot, you know, kind of see if you can avoid all the wrecks coming through, but we'll have to see from what you can do with that. Let's see. A quick little shout out there for Mauer Farm Management. There up at the top of your screen. Boy, this is going to be awesome. Talladega is really one of those ones where anybody can win. There's no, if the guy in first does not mean you have it. If you're in 7th, does not mean you're not capable of the win. And if you're even starting back in the 22nd or even back to the 27th position, it does not matter. You still have a chance to win this one. This track gives a lot of opportunities. The key is just being able to take them. I believe the fastest mover one time I've seen before was actually Dale Earnhardt. He was actually able to go ahead and place a good come from behind. I believe he was in 18th position, and in 3 laps came back into the top 3, and the lap after that won the race. So if you're able to find your buddies, pick your line. This can be a heck of a track to really get around. But Dan McLaren and Neil Strauss are up here in the front. 88 and the 68, Toyota and the Ford, followed by the Chevy of Robert Lynch, Toyota of Richard Holland, and Pat Boyce in the top 5 here. These guys are going ahead and get it going here. Pace car is off the track. These guys are going to go ahead and bring it down. I am excited to see this one get put underway as we get going here. And green flag is out. Here we go. So yeah, if everybody can kind of keep calm here, we should be able to get a good restart out of these cars. Let's get a little zoom in there. A little bit of the Chick-fil-A foundation from Neil Strausser there, and you're gonna see these guys kind of bump around a little bit. You're gonna see them weave. We'll give you a few chopper views out there on the top. Boy, you see a lot of guys kind of dialing it back there, really not interested in battling up toward the front. Almost now already creating a second section here from a lot of these drivers. Robert Lynch finding out that inside line is working really well. If he can stay working with Dan McLaren there, they may be able to get a good push. It's hard to get a breakaway here at Talladega. You know, over 2.5 miles here. You know, we were at Daytona, much similar, but not as wide and as sweeping as this one. You know, we have over almost 20 degrees of banking. The drivers love it. But here in the trucks, we're definitely talking very loose in the rear of these trucks. So we'll have to see if they can keep it down. But you're already seeing the wobbling starting to happen. Right now, the top speed of already almost 190 miles an hour out of these guys. A lot of moving around, so all right. Looks like everybody's kind of staying settled down. A lot better than what we saw at Daytona. Woof. Just as I say that, it looks like a little bit of Richard Holland there, I believe. Gone ahead and started scooting around there. Excuse me, I believe it was Zach Chapman in the 72 machine, so we'll have to see if he's able to kind of control that thing just a little bit better. All right, floating around. Good job by everybody so far. Not really too many battles there. Steven Bixler right now up into the 11th position. Any Bixler fans out there? Is 75 Chevrolet up in the 11th position. And Jeff Hallworth there in the 13th position now in his 45 Ford. So we kind of see them all bunched up here. And this is kind of what you're going to see here, John, is these guys kind of, you know, kind of getting mushed up, getting pushed around there a little bit. But it's interesting to see how these guys are kind of spreading out a little bit. I want to rotate back to Preston Cranmer a little bit here and see how he's doing in the back of the field.
Yeah, everybody's behaving themselves right now, which is a big improvement over a week ago. I don't see a lot of guys, you know, trying to change lanes back and forth, and I think that's a good sign early on here.
Yeah, and I definitely hope so. We are looking at taking a peek there. Sigelcow was sitting there almost in three wide position there. Definitely a very ugly shot, but you know, you definitely saw that out the front of your windshield there in the 71 car, but looks like they went ahead and that one's calmed down and away they go. All right. Yeah, it looks like the 5 machine.
Big trouble.
Oh, man. Mark Gilbert got torn up there. Yeah, a lot of guys were unable to kind of check up on that one. Wow. That'll bring out our first caution here for tonight. Let's go ahead and get that wound up for you. Bear with me in just a second. Let's take a peek here at what happened. Boy, that collected a lot of cars here. I know Mark Gilbert definitely got mashed up in that one. Let's see how we get going here and try to see if I can find really what happened. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Terry Landis may have sent this one to the moon as well, as it looked like a 3 wide condition came across starting at the line. So we're going to take a look here. Starting at the line, Terry Landis there in the middle. Let's go ahead and give it a good shot. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yep, and up in the air he goes. And he kind of disappeared there. But we're going to go ahead and see if I can find you another angle of what happened. Kind of who else got tangled up in that one. I know the 6 got banged up. Let's see. I believe the 1 car as well. We'll see if Joseph Canellis, he stayed in the 3rd position. So he may have survived that one. I'm curious of Mark Gilbert here. I want to see where his 76 ended up. Alright, let's see, kind of same area here. You see the 3 wide start. Yeah, just kind of, somebody kind of chickened out there on the bottom. And so I rode it the rest of the way up the track. Yeah, and definitely started collecting the rest of the field. Definitely a bummer there. Oof. Yeah, definitely not what you want to see here. So, all right. Let's go ahead and bring that one back live. Let's see how many people survived and who came down pit road. Andrew Smith came down pit. Boyce, Landis, Jeremy Tate, Floro there came down pit. A lot of guys came down pit in the 4th. Looks like everybody's really kind of coming down pit. Interesting to see. I would assume maybe a fuel stop, maybe?
Probably to fix damage. I think a lot of guys got caught up. Even I got a little damage and had to use one of the fast repairs already.
Holy cow. Yeah, and definitely not what you want to be rolling around out there with, is seeing any kind of damage. You know, it gets ugly real quick, especially when you need aerodynamics here at Talladega. But we got 6 6 laps in the bag here. And it's better than Daytona. I know we had a tangle up super early, and a lot of these guys are trying that 3 wide situation. But I have seen in certain races, these guys do have, you kind of get about that 12 lap mark. These guys start going single wide, and what you'll find out is over the race chat, these guys will start actually sliding up and moving and changing a different direction. Seeing if you can get 4 or 5 cars there on the outside line. They both all hang out in the aerodynamic bubble and get their way up front. So, starting our race up in the next shot, guys who didn't pit. We'll have to see. I'm seeing Bill Calder here did not pit in his 325. Yeah, he's kind of bent up there a little bit. But we'll see right when they cross the line. I want to make daggone sure that we are getting a lot of this. Looks like Bill Calder, one of the salty dogs out there, is going to go ahead and stay out. He does have some damage, though, so maybe he's feeling pretty confident out of the 325. Steven Bixler, he pitted on lap 5. Canellis, that number 1 car we said saw a little bit happen there. As we'll kind of see him drive by and see if he has any damage on his machine. I thought he caught a little bit on that right side, so we'll take a peek. All right, actually the car looks pretty good, so it may have just been a little nudge there, and we'll keep it going. All right. Right now, our starting lineup right now is looking like Canellis, McLaren, Kruns, Bixler, Rayner starting our top 5. Calder's going to be in 6th, Sam 7th, Hallworth 8th, Bob Light moved all the way up to 9th, and Strausser in the 10th position. So that's where these guys are going to be starting. Should be awesome for them. I see John Rayner there in the 302 machine. Looking good, Jegs. Good place to be. I know there's a good battle between Jegs and Summit, who's really the best racing outlet to buy your parts from. Guys out there, let's see. Beef Jerky Unlimited is on the front of Robert Lynch up on that banner. So interesting to see out of him. All right, let's see. Where did you end up, John? 14th position. So you've moved up 12 spots already.
Yeah, well, that wreck took care of a lot of those cars or whatnot. I was just trying to hang out towards the back, which almost had it load up in time, but we'll try to fall back a little further, I think.
I can't blame you. I mean, it's hard to stop from 170 to 190 miles an hour and try to avoid a wreck. Short track is a lot more forgiving to something like that.
Yeah, and this is a self-cleaning track, and what I mean by that is, a high side is probably the more favorable place to be because the cars that wreck, they eventually slide down the banking. So I was on the bottom, and everybody's sliding down there. So maybe the second run I'll stick up top here and hang out up here and see if my fortunes change.
All right, hopefully they will. Hopefully they will. This is a mix-up. We still got a bunch of cars still on the track. A couple of guys are still down pit road. Kemper, Flero, Boyce, and Landis are a lap down. Everybody else right now is on the lead, lap 22 and up. Looks like Andrew Smith and Jeremy Tate may have checked out. I am unsure. I may be incorrect on Smith. Looks like he's coming out of pit now. Jeremy Tate still under a lot of repairs, but can't blame him. So let's go ahead and get this one back underway. As Barney already got his arm wore out in the 410s, is now going to go ahead and give it a shot here at Talladega. With this gearing, you're going to see the restarts being a little bit slower, so no real breakaways for a lot of these drivers. So McLaren and Canellis are going to be able to pull out that front row. Outside line is favorable a little later in the race, just due to the amount of track time that you need for it to heat up. But McLaren goes ahead and pulls out front, taking the first spot with Canellis behind him. Looks like Bixler and Kruns is getting stuck, but we got guys diving way down toward the inside, and really I guess they're kind of checking out, hoping they can just survive this race, as it looks like we got contact for a car there in the back. Looks like everybody kind of straightened that one out. I'm not sure if Tim Chapman got tangled up in any part of that one. Single Cow may have been kind of mashed up in that one. He's definitely got some side damage on the side of that 25 Chevrolet. So hopefully these guys do kind of calm it down there a little bit. I know Preston Cranmer would like to see that kind of slow down a little bit. But we are back here in the 17th position. Watching them still kind of fight here a little bit. 3 wide. All right, looks like they calmed down there just a little bit. And really, so it looks like the car checks up way big time up top. 181 and Jeffrey Kemper there. Up there on the highest side as he can go. So he's going ahead and playing the safe 3 wide. Now let's rotate back up front. As I see Tim Chapman, I believe, sliding around up here. I guess trying to find a good lane. You know, once you hit that aerodynamic bubble, it starts moving. But John, be careful. That 45 machine in front of you, man. I guess y'all are trading paint front to rear.
Yeah, I feel like he just hit the brakes.
Yeah.
That's all I could do not to wreck him there, but...
Yeah, definitely difficult.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
close call, but we'll go up top here, go all the way out here to the wall and see if we can get around them.
All right, well, definitely you do see the pain of when that draft goes away. It is like somebody slams the brakes, because you just get all that air and slams it right into the nose of it. The only way, from personal experience, to really kind of save anything like that is the door draft. And I figure once you guys start learning each other a little better out here, the door draft will be a lot more favorable. When you can trust the guy to stay down in his lane. That way the air kind of goes off the front of his nose and across the front of yours, and you are able to kind of stick there on the outside lane. But yeah, you're starting to feel that free up there a little bit as that 45 is getting a good draft now. Jeff really appreciating the, looks like, I believe, the 91 machine in front of him. 911, I believe, of Jason Sams is now getting blocked up by Bob Light there on the outside row. But Bob Light knows where it's at. He's going to be able to stay there on the outside row as well and try to go ahead and give it a heck of a push there toward the inside. And he's doing just that as he's riding down, trying to get a little bit of that door draft. There, it looks like from Robert Lynch. Boys, another 3 wide situation comes up here, so everybody trying to play safe. Watching that Monster Energy drink white Toyota there on the outside. Kind of dialing his way back and maybe a lapped car. Staying there toward the back, but it looks like no harm, no foul. Everybody's there. Whoa. We're seeing that looks like John Hine there getting a little bit loose. Looks like our production crew had bad camera placement on some of these shots here. You guys do see a lot of the crowd and the wall there. I really do hope you guys do forgive me for that. But Bob Light, definitely look at that as he's making his move up front. 4th place now. So that outside line's starting to form up there a little bit. But John Hine definitely was not liking that middle seat right there, as he may have to kind of dial it back and figure out where he's going to go. Sticking there, the 5 starting to get loose there toward the top, and this is not what you want to see. Hopefully these guys aren't getting ready to get tangled up here. Let's get a better shot. Oh, the 72 starting to loosen up on the inside of him. 72, 71, and the 5 machine side by side. All 3 of them right here, boy. This is going to be a mashup. Let's see if John can hang in there. So, and you can definitely expect when John Hine, you do see him loosen it up there a little bit, and that's what's going to happen. You know, he's got the draft in front of him. He's got no downforce because of Preston Cranmer pushing from behind. And then the door draft from either side, so it really puts him in a wind tunnel, and he has almost no downforce to the car. So it unloads the suspensions. Oh, boy, they're 4 wide, and the 45 machine gets caught up. Holy cow. Jeff Hallworth, it survives, though. Quick bumping and rubbing, plenty of room to survive. Hallworth stays alive, only rolls back to the 11th position, and we are still under green. Holy cow, that was awesome. A lot better. All right, this is really shaping up to be a great race. We have doubled the amount of laps that we were able to complete before the last caution. So right now, McLaren still leading the race. Bob Light trying to fight his way on that outside line still. Canellis back to the 3rd position. Jason Sams 4th, and John Hine has now fought his way to the 5th position. So right now, John Hine up 21 positions from where he started. So really, like I was saying before, Talladega, it does not matter where you started, but this is where you're going to be. You can fight your way up. But let's see where Preston Cranmer is. I know Preston Cranmer's been having a little bit of trouble. There he is, back there in the 14th position. I think he got a little bit of a nudge from that last bump and bang there with the 45 of Hallworth there as well. So now the only way for these guys to really get it together and get their way moved back up front is they've got to start drafting each other. Or otherwise, that front pack is going to pull away. As you can see, Cranmer, he's back there a good ways from the front pack there. These guys are already making turn 4. So let's go ahead and stay up here where the front pack is. These guys are starting to put a heck of a drive here. But it looks like McLaren, Bob Light, and Canellis, these guys look like they've raced all by with themselves together. So the 88 Toyota and 2 Chevrolets, the 77 and the 1 is who I'm talking about here. But Jason Sams trying to take his 911 machine there on the outside line, trying to see if he can compete as well. Doing a good job, maybe something over the radio. Bob Light kind of saying, hey, you can give me a push, but not around the turns. And really, that's the safest way to be, is you don't want people sliding all over the place. But we got a few cars here toward the back of the pack here looking to kind of squeak it 3 wide again. I want to see if we can get a little closer shot there. It looks like that 5 machine is definitely Donovan Ross. We kind of talked about him taking that outside line, kind of dialing in behind Mark Gilbert, the 76. Definitely some dangerous moves. They're definitely trying to work that high line, but it's just not working out so far. Seeing if they can go ahead and hold it together. Whoa. John Hine gets a little wiggly there. Let's go ahead and rotate back up to them as this is getting ready to be another 3 wide position. Bob Light doesn't like to see that, but if John knows better, he's going to get behind Bob Light. I know during practice these guys were pushing each other before. And really, they seem to work well together. It's just kind of... now it's, hey, I met you before, and now you know what to expect. So Bob Light really appreciating seeing John Himes Ford pushing that Chevrolet down the track, but they are coming up on some lap traffic here, and this could pose a problem. Let's go ahead and give a little zoom out here and see if any kind of an issue does arise. As we're going to an Ace Designs drone view here. Boy, that's close. All right, it looks like everybody survives. I believe it was the 69 machine, I believe. Kind of cutting through there. But as you see, ladies and gentlemen, from the outside here, it kind of looks like everybody's straight, but look at how much they're moving around. I mean, the car, man, it just, how are they trying to hold on here? Jeff Flaro here, one of the lap car down, he's up here still in the front pack. As long as he's keeping up, that's not a problem. No harm, no foul. But really, you're seeing that outside line start to form up, and here they go. So now Bob Light, John Hine have now fought up into the front here as Mark Gilbert there. In the 76 will be your next guy in 3rd place, 200, wishing Flaro there, wishing he hadn't gotten tangled up in that last one. But here we go. You see that outside line fall apart. Now the inside line starting to catch up again. So now going to have to watch out for that lapped car here. Kind of staying out of the way. Awesome job. Talladega opening up that favorable 4th line there on that front stretch. And now sweeping move there by Dan McLaren there of the 88. Now into 2nd place. So now Flora will have somewhere to go. All right, and that'll be it for Ace Designs drone view there. As let's get a little closer to the action. And we are under caution. I am not 100% sure which caused that one, but we're going to go ahead and drum up that caution replay. Brought to you by SimTrax Broadcasting here. I appreciate you guys joining me here tonight. Not sure kind of what caused this tangle up, but we'll hopefully we'll be able to find it here pretty soon. Let's see if anybody got bent, any kind of smoke anywhere from any of these cars. I know Single Cow got banged up there before with Cranmer, but I don't know if that had anything to do with it as well. These guys are starting to slow down just a little bit here. Still under green flag. I don't believe any of these guys coming under caution. I'm not showing a reason for the caution though. And that would be kind of my little mess up here, is kind of what in the world is going on. I don't know if somebody accidentally spun out or got tangled up or banged around or what happened here. Oh man, I think I might have found it. I think Cranmer might have been involved. Oh boy. Alright, let's see. Let's see. All right, here we go. Preston Cranmer here. Let's see what he has to allow here. Full speed. Let's see what happens. So Landis there. All right, so it was Terry Landis who ended up getting turned around. It doesn't look like too much happened from that one. Oh, not too bad. We'll kind of see if he made any contact with anybody here. And see if he kind of touched that 181 of Jeffrey Kemper here. As I believe we got a few guys in the front starting to pit. Oh, yeah. How? Wow, what in the world was that? All right, let me see if I can get another shot here. And kind of see if what some people love to call a little, if it's an iRacing incident, if we got a little bit of net code here. Let's take a little peek again. Yeah, it didn't look like contact there. It looked like a little bit of door draft. And it kind of took out Landis there. You did see the gap between the two trucks. And has gone ahead and sent it around. But good job by a lot of those drivers back there. Cranmer, awesome checkup there. Awesome checkup. As it looks like he goes ahead and survives that one. So Cranmer, awesome job by him. Right now he's in the 13th position. I want to take a ride along with him. As we got a little bit of time. Of what he kind of he saw coming up to this wreck. All right, here we go. Preston Cranmer. Good checkup. Good checkup. All right. Great job by him. All right. Preston Cranmer, really, we saw him last week. It really was an ugly showing for him on that run as we get to see him out here. Boy, it is going to be a mix-up here, but we are already 20 laps into this race. And a lot of guys, excited to see, and that's what you're gonna see. I mean, we only got 2 cautions, and that's not too bad, especially for guys really being able to, having their one shot here is, they pressed and pushed last week at Daytona, and these guys really didn't have a feeling for each other. And here we are, into week 2. And a lot of guys, still trying to show their moves and see what they can get done out here. And they're doing a fantastic job. But let's go ahead and rotate up here to Bob Light. Super job by him in the 77 machine. Starting out in the front row, Rayner in second, McLaren third, Zach Chapman and John Hine there up front. Looks like everybody so far has pit on lap 19. Canellis went ahead and pit on 17. Yeah, most of your guys I can see so far through your top 17 drivers pit on lap 19. So, no, let's see. John, you were at 19. How was your fuel window on that one?
We were getting down to it. I was probably only going to go about another lap or 2 before we were going to have to pit there. So, took some tires, and we're going to strap it up here and do it again. I got to Bob's bumper, and I was glad to see him, and we rode that combination to the front there. Let's see if we can do it again.
Yeah, really, that worked out great for you, being able to push up there toward the front, working with Bob Light. Pace car lights are out. I'll kind of let you get back to it here in just a second. So I know you pit back on lap 4. I'm assuming it was a fuel top off. Here you are pitting again about lap 20. So about a 15-lap window, and you were in the draft the whole time. So definitely something to keep in mind, especially for all the drivers out there who may be tuning into the broadcast as well. Kind of seems to be everybody's touch and go here. I said earlier in the deal that tires weren't much of an issue. What were your percentages at, if you don't mind?
Let me look.
Here we go.
Actually, I don't. Let me. If I can get to them. I do. I just got to scroll through them here real quick and not run over Dan in front of me. Oh yeah, I didn't even need to take them. 99% on the right rear, and everything else is at 100. Okay. But I took them, and this will be the last time I take them for the rest of the race. So.
All right. I think everybody else is probably thinking the same thing. If it was just a fuel stop and go, then maybe. But yeah, definitely right sides is possible. But heat cycling in the tires will definitely kind of tangle up some of these guys. So, all right. So this will get our front row going back with Canellis and Bob Light. Bob Light, I'm sure, happy about riding that outside line there. John kind of fell back there a little bit to the 5th position, but you are up 21 spots. So you may have that driver of the week coming up for the biggest mover right now. I won't say I think you're setting up for that on purpose, though. All right. Canellis and Bob Light going ahead and getting this one re-going. Back under green. Our Mission 22 restart here. All right. Looking good, looking good. Everybody settling down. Good move there by John, kind of peeking down toward that inside line, but you really want to find that guy who's closest and stick with him. Outside line is starting to form up again as Bob Light's liking the look of that. Wow, Bob Light really swinging high. Interesting to see on that. I guess he's trying to maintain, actually take away the door draft from that low line. Oh no! And McLaren squeaks out and kind of leaves him out there. So now 3 wide, so now Bob Light's stuck in the middle. Now he is going to lose a lot of ground here. Bob Light back to the 4th position. But if everybody can hold still, Bob Light's still got a chance with that door draft. As we see him kind of roll back out of that turn on turn 4. We're going back a little bit of this dog-leg turn tri-oval that they have here. He's snugging down toward the bottom, looking good on the inside of the 302 of John Rayner and the 1 of Joseph Canellis. These guys have been racing side by side most of the race and is now hanging out to dry the 72 machine. So Zach Chapman falling back pretty bad there. Let's see if he goes ahead and maintains. Back to the 72, but now he's touching the 45. They make contact. 68 now starting to get upset. Neil Strausser trying to give him a good push. But it looks like they go ahead and calm down. 68 goes ahead and dials it in to the inside of the 72. He's going to dial in toward the low line 72 toward the outside, and it looks like Zach Chapman finally lands back there in the 12th position. So way far back, and that's what you kind of notice here, is when you do fall out of that draft, it's like slamming on the brakes. You start rolling back pretty quick. But Bob Light, just saying that, survives. And after that 3 wide situation, was able to make a good move. Stayed his ground, and up front he goes. So now him and John Hine, I'm sure, are going to definitely work on pushing their way to the front yet again. Yeah, but I don't blame 71 of John Hine right there. You do see him sliding around a little bit, and that's what you're going to notice. That front end just kind of loosens up. At speeds of what they're doing right now, let's see. John Hine right now is doing 185 miles an hour behind Bob Light right there. Super fast out of his truck, so it's going to have to try to slow it down there a little bit. And really, it's not what you want to do is trail brake here, because it's such a fast speedway, but it may or may not have to happen. John Rayner there getting a little loose on the inside of John Hine there. Kind of getting down below the yellow line. He's kind of bobbing and weaving there. And he may be having the same problem in his Chevrolet. But right now, a Toyota is leading the pack right now. That 88 of Dan McLaren up front. Bob Light trying to fight there, and we are under caution. Looks like Andrew Smith may have bent this one. Andrew Smith in the 79 Toyota is totaled out. He is in the infield right now, and I am not sure what happened, but we're going to go ahead and pull up that replay. 25 laps into this one here, John. These guys are really trying to give it everything they got, but maybe just a little too much.
Yeah, that's been pretty intense up front.
All right. I know a couple of guys do get some white-knuckle driving here, but let's go ahead and get to that Malcolm Mills millwrighting caution replay here. There we are with the 79 Toyota of Andrew Smith. Now let's see how this gets going around on the track here. See if it was one car or what happened. Oh. What in the world happened there? Wonder if he had a mechanical fault. That looked like he was trying to turn and then nothing happened. Yeah, he got going, and then all of a sudden the car like straightened out. That was weird. All right, but regardless, we're going to go ahead and take another shot at this. What do you say? How about that Ace Designs? Yeah, let's do an Ace Designs drone view here. Let's take a peek. Here we go. Yeah, it makes contact there, and yeah, it's just like nothing happened. That was weird. give it one more shot here. These guys have plenty of time to get around the track, so we can give you all the views you guys want out there. I know you guys who tune into SimTrax Broadcasting a lot, I love giving you guys that on-board look. You know, you do give it another shot. And to me, this gives you the chance to see if he did have a mechanical issue since we don't have access to his radio. Let's take a peek and see what his wheel does. Makes the turn. Whoa, boy. That's a wonderful ride out of him. As that thing gets flipping and flipping and flipping. All right, and the wheel's still turning, so he may have just bent that one. All right, no fear. No harm, no foul. Hopefully he has not used all his fast repairs. As Andrew Smith is back down pit road here. As we bring this one back live, 24 laps to go. Looks like a lot of guys are starting to come down pit again. Here
Yeah,
on lap
just
26.
top off.
Yeah, maybe just to top off for fuel. Some of the guys have not. Jason Sams, Donovan Ross, and Segelkow did not pit. Everyone else is coming down pit at this point. Yeah, Hallworth has come down. Robert Lynch has come down. Neil Strausser has come down. Mark Gilbert has come down. And his 76 Boot Barn Ford. Let's see, Tim Chapman. He's been wiggling around a bunch there. If I'm not mistaken, that looks like a little bit of South Park there on his on his truck. All right. Yeah, another driver, Steven Bixler, Roland Olson, Richard Holland. Did not come down pit. Holland came down pit on 25. Floro on 16. So a lot of these drivers, I'm assuming, would probably be staying out on track, trying to see if they can get that lap back. And I don't blame them at all at this point. Seeing that cautions sometimes do breed cautions. This being Topside Tuesdays, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, it is possible. There's always another chance of some cars getting bent up here. But these guys are having a heck of a time out there. Oh boy. But yeah, if you guys like this racing, you guys want to give it a shot, you know, come to the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League. If you're looking for other racers that enjoy racing without all the drama and name calling of normal iRacing, come out and join the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League. They have over 16 divisions. They race 7 days a week and currently broadcast. Now, I believe it says here 9, but I believe you guys are doing between 9 and 12.
Yeah, something like that. I lose track. But I tell you, this one here is shaping up not to be too bad. We got a lot of good trucks up front here, and it seems like we've got pairs up here. It looked like that 88 and that one truck were really fast there hooked up. Bob and I in that 77-21, we were pretty quick. But now looks like I'm going to be behind the 88, and the one's going to be behind the 77. So we'll see what happens here with these new guys up front here.
This being Talladega, you know, you get a good shot being able to get, you know, sticking with the super speedways next week for next week's Tuesday for the NASCAR run. You guys are going to be in Michigan. So that's another big, wide track that should be very favorable.
Yeah, except for that one, we actually have to get out of the gas, you know, once after a couple laps into a tire run. So there's going to be a little bit more of strategy and driver ability rather than put your foot on the floor and hang on.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hard there. I know that is for sure. A lot of these drivers are pretty excited about getting back on the green here. That 25 machine, Gary Segelkow, a lot of damage still to his car. Interesting to see him still out there, 5th position right now. So this is a good shot there on the inside right now of John Hine. He'll be kind of catty corner to you. Boy, this is going to be a heck of a shot for some of these drivers, especially Michigan. You know, that high line being so favorable, what you do see is those guys diving toward the inside, and when they slide up that racetrack, it's that pinch coming out of 2 and coming out of 4 is really where the experience comes in, is not riding up into that guy next to you. So everybody better have their Class A spotter on hand there. Stellar out there in the chat. Hooray for super speedways. Yes, here at Coast to Coast, they love running the super speedways, and I love it because it really gives everybody a good shot. You know, some people, you have your guys who are good at Darlington, you have your guys who are good at Chicagoland or Phoenix. Here at super speedways, I think it's kind of everybody's good at these. You know, as long as you can stay clean, find a buddy, and make smart moves, you got a shot. But this is going to go ahead down to Jason Sams and Donovan Ross here at the restart. And the green flag is out there, back underway. Little slow restart. Top 3 are pulling away. So the guys who are on older tires are going ahead and getting a shot. Dan McLaren there did pit on lap 26. And Gary Sigelkow dialing back there a little bit. So we'll have to see how the heat cycle is on those tires. Tire wear, like I said, and we talked to John, is not really a factor here. It's going to be okay. The cars are going to warm up. I'm just worried about the heat cycle a little bit. It may take an extra lap or two to go ahead and kind of square it off. Boy, we got another car getting real loose up front here. That 5 machine of Donovan Ross, once again, finding himself really in a bad position here. Rolling in the top 5 spot. Yeah, there we go. As it looks like he got the check off from his spotter to go ahead and cut down in front of the 1, but he's got to commit. There we go. As now he's in that aerodynamic bubble, getting just enough clean air to make that engine do what it needs to do. But once again, John Hine and Bob Light up toward the top. So really what you want to see out of these guys in the front is obviously, once you find practice, once you find somebody that you can work with, stick to it. Don't leave it. 71, look at that, keeping good distance from that 77, but I'm definitely expecting to see some contact heading down the rear stretch here. One little nudge right there will definitely change the game. Here, Bob Light enjoying that shove as the 71. Holy cow. John Hine making a heck of a push. Let's take a little cockpit ride along with him. And you see how close, little look out that left side there. Yeah, you see the inside line forms up. It's okay. They will have the speed there, but as soon as they get straightened out, you'll see that outside line is going to pay off. As you see that 88 now starting to dial out of the screen. Good moves there by him. But yeah, those 2 cars there on the outside, I'm sure could use a little help there from Gary Sigelkow in the 25, who's now made contact. Looks back there with Donovan Ross. So those 2 cars, the 5 and the 25, now touching and really hammering each other. But 25 definitely starting to see that if he kind of pokes his nose out there, hits that aerodynamic bubble, all of a sudden he'll start picking up a boatload of speed here and start really gaining a lot of speed. Right now he's doing about 185 miles an hour. Right there behind John Hine. Top speed right now, Bob Light is 198. Right now, Zach and Tim Chapman there in the back, 13th and 14th. Those guys have hit 201. So you just see how much speed you can get out of these trucks. And, we're not talking Next Gens or the Xfinity Series. These are the trucks, and normally these are the slower of the bunch. And John Hine starting to poke his nose out there toward the outside of Bob Light right there. I think probably trying to be very careful. And you can't blame him there. You will see the cars kind of wiggle around a little bit. Engine temperature will be a factor once you start riding that close. The engine air cuts over top of the hood, hits that rear spoiler, and into the next truck's roof there. So no air actually passes by the radiator, so you got to be careful. We'll start watching. Oof, we'll shove there by the 71 to see if he can try to sneak before the 88 blocks him. But Dan McLaren goes ahead and slides up in the front and goes ahead and is enjoying that outside line draft. So he's trying to see if he can get a little bit of that from the outside. He's tired of battling there on the bottom. Ooh, Bob Light makes the move. He's tired of being on the outside, so now he makes the move. So now Dan McLaren may have to dial back there a little bit. Wow, this is awesome. All right, and it looks like the 911. So now watch Jason Sams. He hits that aerodynamic bubble. He's going to start sucking in and moving a lot faster than most of those other cars. Yes, he's about 8 miles an hour faster. Kind of bleeds off that speed and moves toward the outside. Definitely wouldn't have done that because now Preston Cranmer knows all about that kind of speed, stays toward the inside, and now he is now going to move up into the 13th position. So the guys up front, 1, 2, 3, and 4, all these guys have moved up at least 10 spots, but that is going to be kind of wiped away here a little bit as we're under another caution. So Bob Light, John Hine, Cranmer, Sams, and John Rayner for your top 5 at the moment. We'll have to see if these guys go ahead and pit, but let's go ahead and get to another caution replay here. As the says possibly Neil Strausser here may have been the culprit. And we're going to see if we can find you a Malcolm Millwrighting replay here of what happened to his truck. See if anything kind of, if anybody got bent up here. And I believe they do. And I'm hoping. Yeah, once again, I want to appreciate everybody for tuning in to Coast to Coast Racing Network and Simtrax Broadcasting for you guys out there. I know I only got a few eyeballs on me, but yeah, go ahead and hit us up in the chat, like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys joining me every night, especially you, Stellar out there. I know I see you about every race, but right now, let's go ahead and take a peek here at the 25 machine. Gary Sigelkow here. Yeah, seems to connect with the 200. And I'm not sure if the wrecking continues. 68 getting loose. Ooh, boy, look out. Neil Strausser there seems to take the worst of it. See if we can get a better shot of 68 here. And some of these wrecks from these guys, it's really a bummer. You know, you start getting under these green flags, but that's okay. You know, still a good shot. All right, let's see what we got here from Ace Designs drone shot. Here we go. 25 connects with the 200, connects the 68. Oh, facing the field, keeps off the wall. Oh, no, catches the 45. Jeff Hallworth there. I'm sure he didn't appreciate that. Let's see where he ended up. Looks like he survived, but he's got a pretty good amount of damage there toward the back end. Oof. All right, a lot more cars pitting again. Looks like Metzler, Chapman, and Bixler decided not to pit here. So your top three guys, 49, 72, and the 75 have not pit. As we're getting around here, let's get you guys back alive. Pace car lights are still on, so we got plenty of time. Interesting to see. John, this puts you back in the 7th position. I'm not sure if this gives the wave around for 1, 2, and 3 here, or if these guys were on the lead lap.
If they didn't pit, by NASCAR's rules, if they don't pit and they're at the front, they'll get the wave around. So yeah, if they're, I see, I think Jeremy Tate, Bill Calder are two that I see in front of me that I know are a lap down. But I don't know that they may be falling back. I think to get the wave around, you have to be behind the pace car. So let's say you were like 4th in line, but the first car lap down and the first 3 cars pitted and that puts you behind the pace car. Well, when those cars came out, if they were behind you, then you would have been shoot around the pace car. But I don't know what they'll do with these two guys.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Metzler pit on 25, Chapman on 26, and Bixler on 27. The rest of you guys are 32, 33, and the rest are 34. Robert Lynch ended up 32. Canellis ended up 33. So we'll have to see if they go ahead. Looks like, okay, there's Zach Chapman coming down pit now. And I believe Steven Bixler as well is going to go ahead and come down pit. Yeah, so these guys may just be buying that extra lap of fuel. Which I can't blame them, really. You're kind of getting close to that fuel window. As if it is that 15 laps, it's starting to get close. If this does go green flag all the way to the end, that may be your last tank of fuel, as there are only 15 laps to go. So pace laps are helpful. I would probably, knowing me, if you would be able to keep out there under green flag, I would definitely be clutching it at this point, because I just don't know if I'm going to make it to the end. But a lot of these guys, especially Metzler here in the 49 Chevrolet, he's feeling pretty confident here. We'll see how that works. I mean, he may be banking on another caution ending up for him. But as we look at all the logos, Fords and Chevys really own the top 10 here. Only one Toyota of Dan McLaren, who's been up front most of the night. is actually starting back in the 6th position. So you just notice how these cars are picking up a lot of speed. And what I said about qualifying, these guys qualifying about 55 seconds. You do see some of these guys in the mid 51s and low 52s. So you just notice how that draft is helping out. I mean, shaving off over 3 seconds is pretty fast here. But man, Talladega, this this is really where it matters. I'm interested to see who else can get their way up front here as the pace car lights are off. So it looks like Metzler and Robert Lynch are going to start in our front row for 49 and the 121. Canellis and Bob Light in the 2nd row. 3rd row is going to be John Hine and Dan McLaren. Jason Sams and Preston Cranmer in the 4th row, and the 5th row looks like John Rayner and Donovan Ross. So Cranmer is surviving. He's behind you at this point, John. And hopefully you and Bob Light, I'm sure definitely I expect to see you guys starting to work your way up there. But you guys have gotten separated just a little bit as the pace car is off. As we're getting ready to line back up for another fantastic restart here on Mission 22. We're going to see how this one unfolds. Boy, this is going to be a really a great run to the end if this one can stay green. I expect to see everybody from the 45 truck and up going ahead and getting this one away. Barney's got the rear end flag out, and away we go. So Metzler going ahead and taking away the lead. He does have some front end damage. I don't know if that's going to cost him early in this run. If somebody else is going to notice, he just doesn't have that top speed. So that top line is just going to form up and start walking away with this. So Bob Light is going to enjoy a lot of that pushing from the outside there. Boys, we're getting ready to start swinging 3 wide. 88, Dan McLaren is wasting no time starting there on the inside. Let's get a little closer look. As Robert Lynch is now leading the Talladega run here at the Coast to Coast Racing League. I know he'll be pretty excited to get a podium finish here tonight. But he still has 14 to go. Getting this one wrapped up. Bob Light staying true to that top line with the 911 of Jason Sams. Here we go. Boy, he was still getting a few 3 wide stretches out there. John Hine kind of getting squished in the middle. He better be careful. The 49 and the 1 touch. As it looks like the 37's getting loose. John Hine is in the worst possible spot right now. But watch this aerodynamic bubbles. We kind of watch him reel them in. Let's see if we can get a quick chopper view of that Ace Designs. There we go. So you see the aerodynamic bubble. Look how it's working for that inside line. Oh boy, as somebody takes a quick peek there toward the inside. 5 may be able to go ahead and dial it in toward the center there. Awesome job, and now everybody calms down just a little bit. So everybody takes a quick deep breath here, and now everybody starts back again where the separation is going to start, as it looks like somebody's trying to make contact with John Hine on the left side. John's got to watch out as contact's made again there on the left inside quarter panel. All right, so now John is on the outside of the 3 wide shot. Preston Cranmer is going to follow that middle truck as well. This is dangerous. All right. And you just kind of see how these guys are kind of working it out here. You know, it's dangerous to see, Jeff Floro here. Very fast as Jeff Floro gets turned around. Bad move there. Oh, no. Floro toward the inside. Engine damage. No caution. Let's continue up front. Holy cow. All right, so some crises are averted. But right now, watch Preston Cranmer here, as I've been talking about this aerodynamic bubble. Watch. You see how it kind of magnetizes there. Ooh, dog. Looks like there's one truck there kind of gets dialed back there a little bit. 68 machine. He now falls back to the 12th position. So you see how that gets moved around. All right, so our top 6 right now. Let's get back to the race. Bob Light and Robert Lynch up in the front lanes. Battling it out between these two. McLaren in the 3rd position in the Toyota. Battling it with Jason Sams in the 911. Preston Cranmer on the inside, and John Hine survives in the 6th position. But he's got to watch out because Donovan Ross in the 5 wants a lot more, along with the 181. The 181, I believe, is a lap down of Kemper. He's actually 2 laps down. 181 in the 2nd position. Just goes to show you, even though you are laps down, you are still fast. So you'll be able to go ahead and stay out front there. It looks like the 72 car. He may be a few laps down. Zach Chapman, he's dialing back there, trying to see if he can get squeezed back into the pack. And really, once you are a lap down, you want to, you don't want to lose any sight of any of these drivers. Yeah, look at John Hine there giving a good shot there to Jason Sams, who's running in the third position right now. Bob Light surviving, but not without Robert Lynch giving it a good shot. So these guys out front nudging just the edge of about 200 miles an hour. About 194, 198 to be exact. Oh, Robert Lynch throws a block with 10 to go. Bob Light having to watch out. Holy cow. As that slows down one of those drivers, looks like somebody got loose behind John there. Looks like Neil Strausser may have got tangled up, and we have a wreck. Dak here in the back of the 68 machine is around. Wow. All right, out there in the chat, Nick Alves just checking in on the GOAT AAK Patrick. Hey, I appreciate it, Nick. Appreciate you coming and joining us here at the Coast to Coast, man. These guys here at Talladega, they're having one heck of a run. You got to admit, if you're just now tuning in, this is only our 5th caution in 50 laps here at Talladega. Definitely a better turnout and a lot better racing than what we saw at excuse me. Wow, we are at Talladega. Here at there at Daytona. But we are starting to see a lot of these guys getting tangled up here toward the end. We're seeing Robert Lynch getting the lead in some races. But let's go ahead and see what happened to Neil Strausser here. Wow. That happened a lot faster than I thought it was. Let's see, the 68 of Neil Strausser there kind of getting spun around. Really, everybody else survives except him. And he clips the 45 here. Oof. All right. Let me see if I can bring up another replay here. I may have put my foot in my mouth, and let's see if we can find out what happened to Strausser here. Of his 68 machine. He's been in a lot of trouble all night. Let's take another look here. 68 machine there on the outside. Oof. 96 actually gets turned around. Oh boy. Yeah, collects the 5, collects the 72. Whoa. Alright, looks like they're going to share the same spot. For the 96. Looks like the 96 got messed up. Jackson Lomax there. Not quite sure what happened that. Alright. Say we, yeah, let's take an Ace Designs drone view here. Originally known as the Michelin Chopper View. But that is not going to be any longer as we've got a sponsor for our chopper here, John. But let's go ahead and get this one underway. Let's look at the 68 here. He definitely sees the 96 getting tangled up with the 5. 2 snakes his way through. And 68 kind of gets mugged there and gets a nasty shot from the back. Hopefully 68 still has a faster pair. Oh no. Boy. We're going to take a quick little peek here, and I believe...
And I got caught speeding on pit road, so that's going to take me out of the mix for the win.
Ooh, come on, John.
Yeah, I gassed it up just a split second too early, and it cost me.
All right, well, here in this league, does that vie as a drive-through, or are you?
No, I dropped to the end of the longest line, so I'll go behind the whole field, and with 5-6 laps, there's no way that I get back up there unless they wad it up pretty good up there.
All right, well, you are definitely gonna have to pray on that one, because right now I see you 10th position. I'm sure you're gonna have to dial back just a little farther. Wow, that's ugly. That's gonna undo your night. Still,
yeah,
still good showing out of you, bud. You did a heck of a lot of driving up there toward the front.
Yeah, we were just buying our time, just trying to get to those last couple laps, and then try to get going here. And oh, this is even a worse sign. The 2 guys that are supposed to let around, they don't want to pack up, evidently.
All right. Hopefully, race control out there may be able to wave undo a black flag for you there, and then see if they can get you around, man. All right, a couple more guys coming down pit road right now. Looks like Strausser back in, Calder in. Looks like Calder Bill Calder and Andrew Smith. The 79 Toyota is coming in, and Calder and his 325 Chevrolet. All right, let's get a little closer, as I believe pit car lights are off. All right, so that's going to line up Bob Light, Preston Cranmer, Tim Chapman third, Roland Olson, man, I keep messing that up. Dan McLaren there in the fifth. Robert Lynch, who was up there leading, now back to the sixth place. Jason Sams in the seventh. Joseph Canellis eighth. John Rayner ninth. And Jackson Lomax, who we saw got bent up, actually survives and stays in the 10th position. So Christopher Berger here. We haven't talked about him much there in the 2 machine. Looks like iRacing's starting to really shuffle everybody up here. Puts him up in the 10th position. Donovan Ross in the 5. Looks like he got his car squared away there pretty well. We'll kind of see how a couple of these lap cars are able to kind of shuffle back in line. All right, only 7 left to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you joining us again. Don't forget to tune in. You can find me every Tuesday here with Gambler Motorsports on Topside Tuesdays with Coast to Coast. Super excited about that. If you're unsure where Simtrax Broadcasting will be, you can visit simtraxbroadcasting.com. You can find us there, and our schedule will be up there. So you can find everywhere I am, and then also give you a quick little race prep of even the track. So if you're unsure which track we're going to be at, or there's a favorite one, you can go ahead and circle that one on your calendar as well. I definitely circle this one here on one of these nights to see these guys really run the NASCAR runs here, especially dirt. I'm not used to dirt, John, and really you guys are able to have blessed me with the 410 class that I'm absolutely astonished with the amount of speed and the midgets, what they can do in those little cars. All right, as it looks like pace car is ducking on off. It's up to Bob Light and Preston Cranmer to bring us to the front. Hopefully, I would like to see Preston Cranmer get a better turnout than he did last week. He still ended up with the top 10, and so did Bob Light as well. So these guys are not afraid to run up here in the front. John Hines starting actually back in the 15th position. Hopefully he'll be able to fight his way up. I told you about Dale Earnhardt, so there's still a chance. We already got a little bit of wiggling toward the middle of that pack there. I just want to take a quick peek up here at Bob Light, getting a good shot there off the front row here. Trying to get that inside line, immediately getting started here. 6 to go. So I definitely expect to see a lot of guys getting pretty antsy around here, trying to find a route, find a friend quick, and move your way up front. We already see a couple of those guys in the back rows there kind of messing around. Have to see if anybody kind of slows it down a little bit or picks up the speed. 5 giving a good shot to that good truck in front of him, Donovan Ross. I think he doesn't really appreciate being up in that pack right there of the 49 kind of blocking in front of him. So have to see how he gets piled up as he goes ahead and tries to form a line higher than everybody else, get that fresh air. Trying to see if he can work that aerodynamic bubble and get a good run, but now here we go. That outside line has formed up as we are now 3 wide. Kruns is up front as we are now have another caution. Oh boy. I'll have to see who ended up in the back here, who kind of ended up messed up. Couple good pits, couple good passes from these drivers, and then somebody got turned around here. We'll kind of see what happened here. Looks like the 116 has a lot of smoke. Says Bixler may have been involved, so let's take a quick peek here at Bixler and kind of see if we are correct. Bixler being the 75 machine here. Kind of where... Oof. God. What in the world? Yeah. I figure a little radio silence out of you, and now I know why.
Yeah, I looked like a hole, and I got into it, and they tried closing it, or maybe I tried forcing it. It's kind of tough to tell, but I saw an opening and had to go for it with only a couple laps left.
All right, we're going to take a little ride along with you and kind of see how this shaped up. How this is going to go. I believe that'll come in tonight, but we will see. Let's see. Take a little nudge there towards the inside, 45. Woohoo. Yeah, you just had so much speed. Man.
Yeah, that's what I kind of guessed. I got there before they realized I was there, but I know when the truck came down, I mean, I was well past his door. He had room to the outside, but like I said, if I surprised him there, probably why it closed up.
Yeah, definitely. And kind of when you start catching up to people like that, what end up happening is you do take the draft off the back end. So all the quick moves, it'll loosen them up as well, and they can't make that move just in time. So let's go ahead and take another peek at it here with another Ace Designs shot here. All right, let's take a look. We saw John Hine down here at the bottom of your screen getting a boatload of speed here. Make sure we get a good slowdown. Yeah, and you see, woo. Yeah, actually, I might rewind that one a little bit. And you're going to get in my ear about that one.
Oh, I'm gonna have to, so what you're saying is I'm gonna have to go on an apology tour here, huh?
It might be, man, because we get going here, and in slow-mo, you slide it out from behind the car. You hit that double door draft here, which ends up forming that aerodynamic bubble toward the center. And from the top view here, yeah, it's almost like you guys magnetized. 45 came down a little bit, and you pulled up. Oh, man. And then, bam, it's just the carnage after that. 75 never saw it coming. Yeah, I see a lot of you guys, when the tires are spinning, you guys are definitely trying to drive through it. Ugh. Yeah, I guess sometimes the only way to slow it down there a little bit. All right. Let's go ahead and get this one back underway. Looks like the 116 that did have some engine damage with Richard Holland there. Looks like he was able to go ahead and fix that one up. So he's going to be able to go on there. All right, Richard Holland and his 116 Toyota going ahead and staying alive here. Appreciate Nick Alves and Stellar Stella, you guys joining me here. I know a pretty big thing is happening tonight. I believe the College Series actually starts off tonight. Driver over there, Jeremy Burns, is actually competing in there for the College Series. I know there's a lot of money up for grabs there. So I appreciate you guys joining us here at the Coast to Coast. It's still going to be a great race here. 6 cautions here. I know a couple of them here have been bunching up pretty bad toward the end. And we'll kind of see how this one... I definitely expect to see this one kind of wrap up here toward the end.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I had to do. I mean, I was in the back and, laps winding down. I have to get in there and, I wasn't trying to wreck anybody or anything, but, even the smallest gaps, you got to try to go for them.
Yeah, and I'm sure Mission 22 is really appreciating all these restarts these guys are going ahead and giving us. But, yeah, I was going to say, John, I believe you're normally down in the Gambler Motorsports chat, aren't you?
Yeah, usually I'm a Gambler, one of the co-owners, I guess you could say, of a Gambler.
Oh, man, then, dude, now would be a great time. Pace car lights are off. We're only getting about into turn 2. Go ahead and give us some shout-outs there from Gambler Motorsports.
Sure. I want to say hi to Aiden and Zach Chapman, who's in here, Steven Spees, myself, Daniel Vaught. We're all co-owners in that deal, so it's pretty cool. We do all kinds of things. We've lined up, run 24 hours races, other endurance races, do a lot of VRS endurance races on the weekend, and just a really fun group. And we text even when we're not on the track somewhere. We're texting usually several times throughout the day, just BSing. So pretty cool. One of the neater aspects of iRacing. Met some folks that friends for life. Even Steven and I went over to I-55 and to watch the SRX series. And last year we went up to Knoxville and whatnot. So pretty cool deal all around.
All right, man. That is awesome. Really being able to see somebody out there, you know, and you guys supporting and sponsoring the Tuesday Topside Tuesdays, man. That is awesome. A lot of these guys out here are going ahead and giving this one last shot. You know, we got 3 to go. You know, 2 once we get to the line, then the white flag comes out, and then normally that's where you see the carnage. That's where cars start folding each other to pieces, and that'll be kind of all she wrote. So, Preston Cranmer, Bob Light, 2 Chevrolets up here in the front. Gonna go ahead and give this one a shot toward the end. You want to call it? You think we're gonna have another caution? I hope not.
Oh yeah, I do.
All right. Well, hopefully these guys are able to calm it down. You know, it's getting pretty late for these guys, especially after that 410 race. Some of these guys are pretty worn out, but it's good looking at Tim Chapman there, getting a little wiggle in there for behind the 77 of Bob Light. Definitely expect to see these top 4 really tighten it up here and really try to give each other a run for their money. Toward the front, Tim Chapman there in the fourth position, battling for 3rd. See if they can kind of squeeze it together here. Man, that is close, and you do see bumper to bumper as Cranmer is getting a heck of a shot from Dan McLaren, who is tired of losing spaces there. He's been running up front this whole time. And Bob Light gets super separation there from the 37 of Tim Chapman. Can they hold it to the white flag? Preston Cranmer leading the race right now. After getting sent to the moon at Daytona, he's going to bring us to the white flag. Can Bob Light hold him at this point? 3, 2, 1, final lap. All right. So final lap is out. What happens, happens. So now is going to be the shootout to the end. 20 drivers trying to see if they can really stab it at the end and push their way. 3 wide back there. The number 2 car out toward the top. Oh, Chapman gets loose. Tim Chapman in the 37 machine gets super loose, kind of bumping and banging back there. Nudge that 911, and now Bob Light is dialing back. Not where he wants to be. It looks like Bob Light is going to be around. 911 folded up. And the big one. Oh no, but white flag is out. It does not matter. We'll roll back to that later. But right now, Dan McLaren taking away the lead. Cranmer trying to shoot it toward the inside. Does he have it? Does he have it? We'll see. Oh, no. McLaren, Cranmer, Chapman. 1, 2, 3. Look at how close Cranmer got. Holy cow, what a finish. What a finish. Excellent. These guys really hammered it there right toward the end. But we'll show you the finish here right here toward the end one last time. As we get rolling, ready. Holy cow, that was close. Holy cow, that was close. Wow. What a finish. What a finish. All right, now I'm sure some of these other guys would appreciate kind of getting their eyeballs in there of who got folded up right there at the end. Holy cow, that was a massive pile up there right at the end. And we will have to see really who... I want to see where Bob Light ended up here. Alright, I'm trying to get us a good view of what happened here. And I think, as always, that Ace Designs shot may be our best bet. Let's take a look here. So Bob Light in the 77. You see the two kind of rub the wall there. And maybe the 5 of Donovan Ross. No, that's the 2. It looks like the 48 and the 77 connect, which sends Bob Light around.
Yeah, I think I was underneath Bob at one point.
All right, we see you there in the 71. Oh, it takes out the 911, and that's really all she wrote from there. Robert Lynch comes up. Robert Lynch connects you. Here you go. You're watching Bob Light above you. Oh, no.
I think Bob might have had the toe. I think I saw him on his come to rest on his side.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, Bob Light is still flipping here in the replay. Oh, and the 911 just adds insult to injury and flips him kind of on his side there. Wow. Alrighty. Alrighty. Wow. That was definitely a mix up there. Let's go ahead and see if we can get our race results up. Dan McLaren comes away with the win. Preston Kramer second. Chapman third. Lomax fourth. Metzler in fifth. Strausser sixth. Berger seventh. Robert Lynch finishes eighth with Olsen ninth. And John Hine, you finished 10th. Wow. Hey, still a top 10. But really tough break for Bob Light there in the 11th. Jason Sams 12th. Donovan Ross 13th. Canellis 14th. Rayner 15th. Kempler 16th. Richard Holland and Bill Calder were in the respective 17th and 18th positions. Kind of undoing the race here. Man. Boyce and Tate 19th, 20th. Hallworth in 21st. Andrew Smith 22nd. Bixler and Landis 23rd and 24th. Chapman and Flero 25th and 26th. Sigelcow and Gilbert round out our last row of 27th and 28th. Holy cow. Wow. And what a run there toward the end. And you can't blame any of these guys for really giving it the college try right there toward the end. And seeing Tim Chapman, who won the race last week, coming in third. Still battled there. I know he got super, super loose right there toward the end, but he was able to survive and really bring it home here. We're going to go ahead and see if we can catch up with him. Let's see. Wow. Appreciate you guys joining us here. This is still fantastic of everybody and how many of you guys showed up here for this Talladega running. But let's go ahead and get Tim Chapman in here. Tim Chapman, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
There we go. Hey, man, dude, that was a wild race. You won last week at Daytona, and here you come with a third-place finish this week. Really, what was the key to staying up front here so far?
Well, I didn't find the front till almost the end of the race. On the initial start, I got hit from behind and spun out and almost went a lap down. So just working my way back from there.
Yeah, I knew, I believe, about almost the middle of the race, I believe you and Zach were back there as well. You guys, I think, were tumbling around about 16th, 17th position. It seems he got kind of the worst damage of it, but you were able to survive and get your way up toward the front here. Was there anybody up there that, you found you could trust as a drafting buddy?
Well, I don't know. Not sure who that was behind me there at the end. We had worked together in warm-ups a little bit, but it's fun racing with Dan and all those guys. They're really good.
All right. Well, I believe it was the 911 of Jason Sams and his Ford there, right there toward the end. Tried to give you a good little shove. We are watching here a little bit of a replay. You trying to give Bob Light a little extra shove to get out front, but man, that was a heck of a shootout there toward the end. Man, go ahead. You know what, Tim? Go ahead and give me your shout-outs, bud, and let's go ahead and get you kind of wrapped up here. I know this is kind of a late one for you, and here, especially since you were sponsoring this race series.
Well, thank you. I just thank Zach for working with me there when he did, and just everybody. It was a good race tonight. It's a lot cleaner and a lot more respectful of each other. That's a good thing.
Alrighty, and definitely a lot more room for you guys to kind of play around, people getting loose, having a little extra room, but still it was a heck of a shot there, bud. But great job tonight, Tim, and hope to see you next week, bud.
You bet. Yeah, thanks for having us on.
All right, thank you. All right, and there is Tim Chapman, main sponsor of this race as well, so he comes away with this one. Tim Chapman actually up 22 positions from where he started. He will be our biggest mover of the race. Great job by him, but not let's not turn our nose up at one of another fast mover here tonight, which was Preston Cranmer. Preston Cranmer was actually very fast here tonight in his Chevrolet. Worked his way up to the front, but only came away with a second place. Preston, a much better race than last week.
Yeah, I didn't really have a terrible race just last week. Just got caught in some stuff, and so coming into tonight, that was really my focus, was just making sure I kept my nose clean and making sure really I was in a position to win at the end rather than the beginning, because that doesn't do you any good.
Alrighty, well, last week you were sent to the moon. I'm sure we'll have a couple quick replays or the shorts of that here pretty soon. But man, you got some time out front, but you were really battling there, kind of in the back of the top 10 there. Did you get nervous at all with all these cars moving around?
There were times, the pit strategies started playing out different, probably about 2/3 of the way through the race, maybe a little before that, and so some of the guys that hadn't been up front as much don't have, maybe not quite as steady. Everybody's been doing a pretty good job. Tonight was much better, but you get some guys you don't know as well, and just not as stable, and it does get a little nerve wracking. But you just got to do your best to keep your truck stable and make sure you're staying out of everybody's fenders.
All right, well, you guys keep going to wider and wider tracks, and eventually it's going to stop. You started Daytona. You're here at Talladega this week, and next week is Michigan. How confident are you feeling about that coming up?
Well, I don't know that I've ever turned a lap at Michigan before. I feel like I'll do okay. If it's a draft-heavy track, I've got a couple of teammates. We've been working together. That's been helpful. But as far as I'm concerned, bring on the short tracks. That's where I'm good. So.
All right. I kind of hear that a lot. Everybody really good with the short tracks. I myself, I agree with you. I'm more that, Darlington, Bristol, Charlotte area. But, of course, asphalt. But, you guys being short track dirt, I definitely expect you guys to, be very well versed in the short track. Is there, I would ask normally, was there any way you could have beaten Dan McLaren? But, really, this being a super speedway, there's no rhyme or reason. You just try to do your best, find a buddy, and work your way up front. But you still did a great job out there, Preston. Yeah. Go ahead and give me your shout outs there, bud. After what you want to say here.
Yeah, just what, like you're saying. I mean, you just play the cards you're dealt, and then Dan told me after the race he had planned to work with me, and it didn't work out for him either. He was going to push me, and so that's fine. I'm real happy with where we finished. I got to thank all my Kreitz Sim Racing sponsors. Galen's Homegrown Popcorn. Use code CART at galenspopcorn.com. Get 15% off. We have Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding, Kreitz Oval Track Parts, and, of course, Epsilon Sprint Wraps. And I guess this is as good a time to publicly debut it. My Epsilon Sprint Wraps business has also branched out into a team. So we've now got an asphalt team, 2 drivers in this division. So we're pretty proud of that. They're both newbies to iRacing, so we're getting them going and just taking it as a beginner and trying to get them up to speed and seeing what we can do. So make sure you're pulling for those guys, and they've been doing pretty good so far.
All righty. Great job tonight, Preston, and hope to see you next week there, bud.
Thanks, bud.
All right, Preston Cranmer, the man, the myth, the legend. He goes and comes away with a second-place finish here tonight. And John, man, I haven't heard you talk most of the night, and I think you're due. We're going to go ahead and have you have a little chat here with Dan McLaren here in his Toyota as he comes away with the win. He survived. He made it to the end. Man, go ahead and talk to that 88 machine.
Dan, this is John. You got a copy?
Hey, John. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, man, that was fun up front there for a while. Got a little crazy at the end. Tell me how you avoided the chaos and came through the smoke and took home a win here.
Well, different game plan than last week at Daytona. I just felt like it was probably better to just try and get to the front, stay at the front, and just avoid all the chaos in the back. But overall, it was a pretty good race. I think it was a lot better than last week.
I agree there. And, the 2 different kinds of tracks, too. I mean, you had a little more handling. We had a little more room out there. This one, a little more handling was in effect back in Daytona. But we're going to Michigan next week. What are your thoughts on going there, and how do you think you'll run?
That's probably one of my favorite tracks. It's probably my close to hometown track. It's only a couple or 2 or 3 hours away, so I really enjoy racing there. It's a lot of fun. Usually puts on good races, and yeah, it should be good.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing you there. Who would you like to give a shout out to tonight for your win?
All the guys over at Spartan Racing, BMR Wraps, Weldstar Custom Fabrications, Coast to Coast Racing League, and you guys for putting out a broadcast.
Oh, thank you very much, Dan. And like I said, good luck next week. Try to go for 2 in a row. That's Dan McLaren, tonight's truck winner from Talladega.
All right, awesome job there by Dan. It looks like him and Tim Chapman went ahead and switched. Chapman came in first and places third tonight, and Dan came in third at Daytona and places first tonight. So these guys are going to have a heck of a wind-up. But that is awesome there from the Cool Ray Heating and Air Conditioning Victory Lane there with Dan McLaren. Started first, ended first, and really has a fantastic way to go. And that way, you know, you kind of commanded the show here tonight. But as always, appreciate you joining us here at the Coast to Coast Racing Network and here with Simtrax Broadcasting. Patrick Morrison here in the booth, followed by John Hine. Hopefully we're able to turn around your luck here in a little while here, bud. But great job here tonight. We're going to go ahead and cut off here. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to subscribe. I mean, subscribe, like, follow us. I mean, we got this stuff going on every Tuesday. The Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesdays. Is that what you want to do? And tune in here to the Coast to Coast. Don't forget to subscribe here to the Simtrax Broadcasting. We got a lot of work to do and a lot of people that we're going to be broadcasting here. So appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. Checking out. Enjoy the rest of your night.